Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Amateur Hour. And tonight, well, I'm not entirely on my own. Marika and Brian will be with us shortly. Brian is just still on a work call. He will be here in a few moments. And Marika is apparently, according to the message she sent me, not decent at present, but she will be shortly. So she'll be joining us. So at this stage, it's just me and you, and then the rest of the gang will pile in due course. So good evening to everyone. Quick rundown. I got a 30-day Facebook ban, so I can't stream on Facebook and on YouTube simultaneously, which is a tiny little bit of a bummer. And the reason I got banned on Facebook is because I posted a still photograph of Schindler's List. I can't remember what the context was. It was irrelevant, really. It was some edgy post about how the government is fucking us all, which is what they're doing. The Facebook algorithm took issue with this, and I'm a Nazi now, and now they're threatening to unpublish the page as well, and I'm banned for 30 days. So I have created a backup account, which is fuck this dystopia, and it's the U is replaced with a hashtag. Hang on. El Presidente has joined us.
Hello.
Hello, goeienaand, good evening. I was just giving everybody a rundown about me getting a Facebook ban for being naughty. And I was just giving a shout.
What's that about the Schindler's List photo that you do something else?
Yeah, no, it was a Schindler's List photo. I posted a still photo for Schindler's List. There is literally nothing. There's nothing you can't do without getting fucking banned. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, how do you like my new Tumblr? You can't really see it.
That's very classy. I like your Friday night outfit as well. I think it's zouige.
It's a bit more decent than what I had on before.
I was about to say, if we're going to go down that route, it's OnlyFans, and people will have to pay.
That's the second time somebody told me that today.
What did the first person say?
Like, you should get an OnlyFans.
You should. Well, I'm not going to tell you should, because that would be Jesus. That would not be necessarily good or bad advice. But I mean, Rick is here, and Rick don't judge. And I, honest to God, think that if you're going to be flaunting assets, you should get paid for it. You should. This is a capitalist society. Stuff's ain't for free. And goeienaand to Pule. Mate, I'm not going to charge you for helping you with your motivation. You're actually a friend of mine. I charge people who are customers. You're a mate. I'm not going to charge you. But I will respond to your email. Or rather, I will send you an email. Good evening, Shahid. Who is my favorite mango person alive at present, and Rick and Kakarot, and Seppi Tank is here, and Ice is here, and Mr. Punisher, whose CZ is arriving next week, I believe. So it's coming. That's what she said.
So the usual crowd is here.
The usual crowd. How was your week? How have you been? Like, since we have a moment of tranquility before Brian arrives, let me get that right.
It was a normal week. Nothing spectacularly happened. Just business as usual.
It sounds awfully normal.
Yes, awfully normal.
I'm trying to think of something weird happened this week. I got some. I'm not going to drop the bombshell yet. We'll drop the bombshell soon about the business that's being started. But I got some of the regulatory cuck out the way this week. I've realized that you start a business in South Africa, it's not about the money you have. It's not about being an entrepreneur. It's not about wanting to take risks. The major thing that holds you back is the sheer amount of regulatory bullshit that stops you from doing business until you've sucked all those dicks and paid them. And it's not even a case of them wanting to take your money. They're like, oh, we'll take your money, but later when it suits us. For now, you get to do nothing until we've decided we fucked you around enough. It's awful. I don't know how anything in this country actually works. That's why I think the COO of Bosasa, Agrizzi, I mean, he paid people bribes to do business. But when the regulator expects you to pay bribes in order to do business, what the fuck are you supposed to do in this country? I mean, yeah, you're facilitating corruption, but if you don't facilitate corruption, you don't get to work. It's a fuck up. It's the government's fault. It's the ANC. It's what people want.
And that is the legacy that we have. I mean, you don't want to bribe a police officer, but they're kind of half expecting that you should bribe them. Nobody is taking them to task. You don't even see it as a moral issue anymore to bribe somebody. I know a guy that budgets X amount of thousands of rands when he goes on holiday for bribes and fines.
Yeah,
that's just the way of life. Now, if speed cop pulls him over, he will, make small talk and maybe he says, well, is there something I can do for you? Or the police officer will say, is there something you can do for me? So it's that culture that's been growing and that has been fostered, and it's supposedly okay. People accept that as normal.
It's been 26 years. So, and I think that was a very cool point about that. I just want to quickly say hello to Christos from Crete. Thank you for tuning in, dude. It's always good to see our foreign fans tune in. Like, I really dig it. And Chris, who is Sepitag's sidekick. Wait a second. Chris, you need to clarify. You've got a blonde chick emoji waving. Are you Christine? Is that it's like the Sam thing for Samantha. Okay, I think I get it now. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. It's been one of those weeks. Reinhard, for people who aren't mates of mine, I refer you guys to real professionals like Max Rosley, who does not charge ridiculous money, and his work is superb. His work is absolutely superb. Motivus, you don't get better, more solid motivations. He's got like a 99% success rate. The guy doesn't write motivations. He's an artist. Wow, that's fucking corny. I hope he's not watching this. But if you are, Max, I love you. Want your babies. Anyway, I'll send him that.
That's possible. That's almost possible.
Yeah, I'll send him that. It's almost in 2020, anything is possible. Why Angry Bird, Marika?
Because I'm actually angry. It doesn't look like it, but I am actually angry.
Why are you angry? I would like to ask you.
I am angry at the government, at the president, and I am more angry at the people that's not angry about it.
People are just accepting this.
Last night, I watched the president's speech on Chris Wyatt's show and on Roman's show, and obviously everybody that's in the this little echo chamber of us. We all agree, and we are angry. But what about the other people? Nobody in my town is angry about this anymore. Nobody at work is angry about this. It's just the way of life. That's just how it is. It's no more lockdown level 1. It's just the new normal, and people have been conditioned to accept that. There's no outrage of another extended state of disaster.
Do you know why? Because people still have hope that there's a way out of this hell. They live in this bizarre thing that come New Year's Eve, as soon as it turns into 2021, things will be different somehow. It's a weird psychological bullshit thing, and we know that the state of disaster has already been extended. In 3 months, we would have been under lockdown for a full year. This is unprecedented bullshit where we're curtailing the movement and activities of healthy people for a virus that, according to the WHO's own admission, is no more deadly than flu. Yes, it kills people. Influenza and pneumonia kill hundreds of thousands of South Africans every single fucking year. Okay? As does tuberculosis, as does cardiovascular disease, which is even more deadly. And we are freaking the fuck out, destroying I don't even want to know how much wealth we've destroyed in this country, because at the moment I'm eating my pension. I'm eating it. I have to start new ventures that I hope are successful, but their success depends upon how dynamic the economy is in future. And the fuck up with this is, if the economy isn't dynamic enough to absorb what we are doing, it's not going to be lucrative, it's not going to be profitable, it's not going to work. So I'm waiting for the penny to drop where people sit in our position or in my position where, like, okay, I'm not employed. I'm running out of latitude. I'm running out of savings. I'm running out of options. You start becoming depressed. You start becoming despondent. You start becoming angrier and angrier and angrier. And my anger has changed from this hot, burning flame to a cold turbine of hatred, and it needs focus. At the moment, I have outlets for this focus. But I don't think the government understands that they keep squeezing. The pressure cooker will develop two types of people. One group of people who be extremely angry and want to break shit, and the other groups are just going to kill themselves or become depressed. And
well, we already have that group.
We already have that.
The group that's supposed to get really angry and break stuff is not quite that angry yet.
Yeah.
But people are killing themselves all over the world.
I mean, Japan's suicides have outpaced their COVID death rate. They have lost more people to suicide in October of this year than in all of 2020 to COVID. Then someone said to me, yeah, but the Japanese commit suicide to disproportionate rates anyway. I was like, that's not the fucking point. They lose more people to killing themselves in a single month than they've lost to COVID-19 in a year. Explain to me how the fuck we are justifying exacerbating the conditions that lead to suicide in order to save who exactly? And here's the thing. People go, well, yeah, would you kiss someone with COVID? I'm like, yeah, I probably have. Would I hug someone with COVID? Abso-fucking-lutely. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to die eventually, and this is not going to be it, guys.
This thing has been around since December, January. My friend had it in January, before it even had a name.
Yeah.
Before it was declared a pandemic, she was sick as hell. And when she looks back on it, all her symptoms fit. But there was no panic back then, because it just didn't have a name. It didn't have a face. It didn't have statistics. It didn't have mass journalism freaking the hell out and scaring the people. And it doesn't matter how many new research has come out, the people are still looking towards the first stuff that the governments and the WHO has said. I mean, the WHO has said, no, you don't have to wear a mask if you're healthy. Then it's like, no, but wear a mask anyway. And now it's like, it's for your own good to wear a mask. They've said, don't lock down, it's not necessary. Then they said, no, please, we recommend lockdowns. And now they're saying lockdowns isn't necessary, but all the governments are still like locking down because they're following WHO recommendations. So, either you keep up with the science and go along with that, which is fine. Science is an ever-evolving thing. As new science comes out, it gets peer-reviewed, and it must be, you must be able to repeat the process and get the same results with the same method. That's the scientific method. That's how you do things. But to just willy-nilly follow this thing and then follow that thing without actually doing some proper research or have some proper independent people looking at your stuff, you're ruining lives, ruining people, ruining countries. And I cannot believe that every single country in this world can be that stupid.
Here's my theory.
It has to be orchestrated.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory. Okay. This is my conspiracy theory. I don't think it's orchestrated, but, and this is a big humongous butt, like the size of
Indy Z's
that.
butt.
I was about to say that chick that poured the champagne on her own ass.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh God, Kim Kardashian. Okay, this is a big bet. I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I think what we've seen in Western democracies, especially the Anglosphere, New Zealand, Canada, the United Kingdom, less so in the United States, because the United States actually still understand this concept of freedom.
And I fucking broke a nail. Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah. That's a good reason to actually be fucking angry. The United States actually understand the concept of freedom, so I'm leaving them out of this whole Anglosphere bullshit. I mean, Peru is a great example. They had the world's hardest fucking lockdown, and they had the second highest deaths per million behind Belgium, and they destroyed the entire fucking economy. No one's talking about Peru because it's such a terrible example of what strict adherence to lockdown actually achieves. But anyway, my theory is Western democracies have become increasingly authoritarian and power-hungry and bureaucratic over the years they have. That's why we have the European Union, which is technically an undemocratic, unelected body of fucking technocrats sitting in a super overpriced parliament in Brussels that makes decisions about what color your garden shed in Edinburgh is allowed to be, okay? This is how fucking petty and ridiculous it gets. So Western democracies aren't really democracies. They're Western autocracies under a very thick layered disguised smokescreen of supposed representative democracy, which they fucking are not. They're all power hungry tyrants. Politicians are all the same. They vote maximizing agents who want maximum patronage, power, prestige, wealth. That's why they do that fucking job. And that's not a cynical thing to say. It's true for the majority of them. They've been presented with a pandemic. One or two countries start freaking out doing bad shit, like lockdowns and restricting movement and arresting people for cuck and making shit laws. And it became a massive bandwagon effect. None of them coordinated and said, yeah, we're all going to do this. I think they're all inherently that shit, that evil, that tyrannical, that fascist, that they just saw it happen in one or two places and say, we can fucking do this. And we can if we all fucking do it, we can get away with it. So let's just fucking do it because everyone else is going to do it. And they all did it simultaneously in like a Mexican wave of bad ideas and tyranny. And that's where we are today. And it just shows that underlying everything, the conspiracy theorists, the Alex Joneses of this world were fucking 100% on the money in how they describe this political establishment. That's my theory.
Well, that's... We will probably never know until 30 years from now when and if historians are still allowed to publish. They will look back on it and say, this was a mistake. I'm pretty sure that this is going to get lost somewhere in the archives because the people just go with it.
Yeah.
And
we don't teach critical thinking anymore at all.
People have become lazy. They're not thinking. They don't want to take responsibility. Somebody told me yesterday, I said enforcing masks at gunpoint is dictatorial. And she was like, if you think asking people to wear a mask is dictatorial, then maybe you should actually go and live in a country under a dictator and see what it's like. And no, but the government has the right to do it for the good of society. And I told her that's how dictators come into power, is for the good of society, because people will give them that power. Please, just protect us. We can't protect ourselves. Please help us. And she was like, Marika, you have no idea what you're talking about. Zero joules. But she's a cake taster, so I'm not going to put much stock in her opinion.
So here's the thing. Here is the thing on that exactly. So let's say mask mandates are enforced for the public good, and this is the fucking danger of the so-called greater good, which is bullshit, and no one should believe in that cuck. For the greater good, we can ban guns. For the greater good, we can ban freedom of speech. For the greater good, We can implement a one-child or a no-child policy because the world can't handle any more people, which means that if you fall pregnant, the government can forcibly abort your child at gunpoint. Whether or not you want to keep it is irrelevant. Okay.
And was the one-child policy good for society? No.
No.
It wasn't, because now they have an excess of men and very little women, and they are importing other women into China.
So here's the fuck up. That's exactly it. The disparity that's been caused there by that policy is humongous. It's effective, and we also have to just zoom out of that entire discussion and go, the government has no business regulating how you conduct yourself in your personal life and in society as an adult. They must fuck off. Okay? If someone owns an establishment and they say, this is my establishment, if you don't wear a mask, you're not allowed to come in, that's fine. But I'm allowed to go to any establishment. As an establishment, I should be allowed. I don't give a fuck. I don't enforce masks. You come in here at your own risk. And that's a simple solution, but I mean, not solution. It's a simple view on it. But we need to stop being okay with the government telling us what to do. Fuck the government. Really, fuck them. They are imperfect people at best, and a bunch of corrupt fucking imbeciles that are self-centered, self-interested, and criminal at worst. The Colonel is here. Goeienaand. Good evening, Your Honor.
Hello, Colonel Chris.
Where do I find a happy bird? East London. I don't actually know. You're going to have to ask the bird. She knows ornithology better than I do, I think.
I don't know East London. That's not my valley.
You don't know that. Definitely not in Tabazimbi, that's for sure.
No, there are happy birds here because they're the ignorant ones. They're the ones not willing to face reality. They're the people that's just saying, no, but this will blow over. Hello, Eddie.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Blowing over, ignoring reality. That shit works only until it starts personally affecting you. The real negative externalities of the terrible shit you've been ignoring becomes real. God, it's just... I'd say I want to tear my hair out of my head, but it's not that much. I still like to keep it. Also, fuck soccer. I don't have a fundamental problem with football, but I thought that was fucking hilarious because we all know where it comes from. Oh, Viriatus is here. Hang on. Hello, Piratus, and our bell extraordinaire, Mareike. I just had to put that up there because I thought that was...
Hello, Viriatus.
And I'm kind of enjoying... I hope Brian's on a call a bit longer, but don't tell him I said that.
We can just not let him in.
Yeah, we can. We can just leave him in the...
Technical difficulties.
You can just leave him. But yeah, he's going to watch the stream after the fact. I forgot where I was going with this whole train of thought. But yeah, angry?
I still have my train.
Go, please.
With freedom comes responsibility. Okay? Real freedom means... You can do what you want, but there's going to be consequences, not necessarily from the government, but from your immediate society. There's always going to be consequences, and people are going to take you on about it, and you are going to make mistakes if you truly want to exercise your freedom. I mean, you really, truly can do whatever you want, but society has rules. When a bunch of people come together, they spontaneously want rules and order, and that's a natural thing that happens. And if you don't agree with that society's rules, you can leave or you will get kicked out. That is fine. But now government are squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and they're taking our freedoms away one step at a time, so slowly that you don't actually realize that it is happening. No. And when they take your freedom, they take your responsibility as well. Yeah. It's no longer your responsibility to stop a person doing crime. You don't have to. It's the police. You can just phone the police. You are no longer responsible. you can't take responsibility for your own actions because your actions are dictated to you. You have to do it. You are forced to do it. Your choice is taken away from you. And that has made people morally lazy because they can no longer stand on their principles. They don't know what their principles
I was
are
about to
because
say, they don't even know what their principle.
they are being dictated to what to do, what to think, how they should act. The government is telling them this is the way you should act to be a responsible citizen. This is for the good of society. Well, we are mixed societies. What is good for my town isn't good for PE. And it isn't good for Cape Town. And it isn't good for Dahlstrom.
And it isn't good in between cultures. And this is the thing about freedom. Societies have norms. Cool. You ostracize people who violate those norms. But they are still free to go out there and create their own society of so-called outcasts. And guess what? When you create a society of outcasts, you're not outcasts anymore. You're a new society, a new civilization, a new minority or a new majority. And the difference here being, if you do that through non-violence, it's legit. And you can. And the great example of this within the Afrikaner culture, and this is going to upset a fuck ton of people, is the fact that we have 5 million different churches. Because we just fucking go, we don't want you in our church, you bunch of liberal heretics, or we don't want you in our church, you bunch of closed-minded neophytes. And that process has resulted in the same people of the same skin color, language, heritage, cultural norms, roughly having vastly different, diverse religious outlooks and outlooks on faith, but that cohabitate literally next to each other without leading to conflict where there's any violence. And there's no reason why in a society that's free, where you purely protect property rights and protect people against predation, that's the only fucking reason for any government to exist, is enforce those two things. So you're not allowed to fucking just kill people for no reason, and you're not allowed to steal. If those are your only two rules in your society, and say, but you guys figure the fucking rest out, life will be a lot simpler, because you will force people to take responsibility for their own fucking actions and to actually be active citizens, which you don't have.
Yeah, but people are lazy. They're just all too eager to just pass the buck and say, no, but it's somebody else's responsibility. Oh, everybody's skipping the stop street, so I'm not going to stop at the stop street. Everybody's doing it. Skipping a stop street still kills more people than COVID. And that is because of your lack of a good decision. If you run a red robot and you kill somebody, that's on you. And no amount of law and legislation is going to stop that, because you made the choice to put yourself and somebody else in danger.
That's exactly it. And just to answer the Colonel, I'm highly envious of this trip. One day, if I'm allowed to ever leave without a COVID passport, otherwise I'm never leaving ever again, because I refuse to comply with that 1984 bullshit. And this is also on point. Just a question to the Colonel. What does a colonel in the U.S. Armed Forces shoot at the range when he goes to shoot? This is our serious gun question for the Friday night. I would love to know this. Mareike, you're dropping truth bombs on the Friday night.
See, I am angry. I can rant if I want to.
You do a mean rant. And there was another really good comment here somewhere that, Graham touched on a super good point. Let me just find it here quickly about furries.
You can touch on a lot of good points.
Don't talk out the bedroom. So juggalos and furries are a really good example of this, because any normal group of people would probably ostracize them for being who they are. Yet they found...
No, but if you keep your juggaloing and your furrying in your own house, that's fine. Don't go outside and say, I'm a furry, please accept me. Or don't be mean to me, don't judge me. Just do what you want and keep it behind closed doors.
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep if they have juggalo societies and furry societies, just like Star Wars and anime nerds of theirs, and you find
Star
acceptance
Trek has
in.
no place in society.
I agree. Yeah, they need to go eat out the trash can. Sorry, Zach, if you're watching this. It's just the truth.
We still love you. It's okay.
Yeah,
We don't judge.
Yeah. Zach is a gay Zulu man. I think he understands oppression more than most people. But I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a free pass on the Star Trek, dude. Like seriously, you don't get that one. Okay, so the Colonel 9mm Beretta, that's 92F or one of the polymer jobbies. Being a US Army man, I'm pretty sure it's a 92F. It has to be the full metal 92F. There are so many Afrikaans groups that don't see other ID, but that's also okay. Like, that's part of our culture. Ons bliksem mekaar, ons kom nie oor die weg nie. As long as you're not Adrian Besson or that activist from Skelmtos, I forgot his name, that causes so much shit online, or Max de Priya, or that other imbecile with a kopdoek. Yeah, I think all Afrikaners can unite in their mutual hatred and loathing of those like four people. Regardless of what our other differences happen to be. I'm envious of Graham Taggart and Mareike. Yeah, it's the power couple, dude. The power couple. Full Metal. Okay, I didn't mean to accidentally give ons to it. There we go. The Colonel is as they've like would not touch a polymer Beretta. Okay, real men shoot all metal Berettas. There you go.
Real men shoot Colt 1911.
I bought I got a Chinese one. An Orenco Dark 40.
So you're just a wannabe real man.
Yeah, but it's fun though. It's in 40 Smith & Wesson, so it's a lot cheaper to shoot. It's
okay,
double stack.
I'll give you that. Okay.
It's double stack and it is fully interchangeable with other 1911 spare parts. And they're not bad.
Like most Chinese things.
Yeah, it was going apparently at like 4,995 rand on a Black Friday special. So I mean, that's not money. Hang on, Mareike is keeping deathly quiet. She doesn't approve.
No, Graham has this really long comment. Let me.
Please, can I have some thoughts on the disconnect between the reaction from? I don't even know who the Cathedral are. But that's how out of touch I am these days. You need to just and the CCCP Koof panic. Okay. Yes, you can have Mareike's thoughts on this. And then I
just need to know what he means by cathedral because I'm thinking the Catholic Church. I'm thinking the Pope. But it might also be
No, the cathedral is a collection of specific individuals that I'm aware of that. I have no idea who they are. So Graham has to tell us. Sorry, Graham, we're disappointing you hugely. And yes, Pierre de Vos also gets a
media, business, and political elites. No, but they're all in on it. They want the people to panic.
There we go. Yedvia, by the way. Narenka 1911s run like a house on fire right out the box. There you go. Unlike the cult ones where you need to do a bit of work on them first, the Chinese product actually no. I might get someone kill me. Are you getting a home invasion there? Is that the dog?
That's the dog. She saw something. She's chasing something.
Well, as long as it's not ghosts, remember to throw a circle of salt, pour a circle of salt around your chair. It keeps them out, apparently. Yeah, the Narinkas are very affordable. They're very affordable. They're chinko, but they're great. Mareike, most Chinese things are interchangeable with the rubbish. I just
yes, we can agree on that.
I just got gagged on. Gosh darn it. Hang on, what else is everyone else saying? We've been going for a full 35 minutes.
Brian says it's gonna be another half an hour.
That's fine. No worries, Bri. Have fun. Hang on, should we send him a voice note? Brian, we're missing you. We love you long time. We want your children. Please hurry. There we go. It's Whiskey Friday. Anything goes, really. Hang on. Sorry.
These cathedral opinions.
The Cathedral is just the software program in the movie of The Net with Sandra Bullock. And I can tell you one thing. I'm old enough, well, so are you, actually, to remember The Net, but I've never actually seen it.
What? I've seen it.
I haven't seen The Net. Is it good?
It's okay. You're gonna laugh at the computer stuff, but for the most part,
I tell you what's worse is I really like Speed was always the benchmark action movie, and I tried rewatching it the other day, and it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous to the point where I was going. It was almost unwatchable, because it was so stupid. About pop quiz, shoot the hostage in the leg, and I'm just going, what are you guys doing? Like, people, like, what the fuck? Thank God technical knowledge within Hollywood about things became better, but before people wisened up, Speed was awesome because it was super fun, it was fast, no one cared. Keanu said shit, but not a lot. He spoke slightly more than Clint Eastwood did in the average spaghetti western. He had no facial expressions. Well, he had one facial expression, which was fine. Sandra Bullock was in it. Back then, she was like 90 Sandra Bullock, so everyone was happy with that. Yeah, I can't. You know, tell me stories. Thanks, Rick.
I can get back on the cathedral one, and every time I hear cathedral, it's like Assassin's Creed, and you're in Italy and you're in France, and you're climbing one or the other cathedral, and then you see that on a movie or on a documentary, and you're like, I climbed that.
Fair point.
Whenever I see a flyover of Italy, I'm like, I climbed that.
Can I tell you the one thing I remember of the one trip we did to Italy is that the food was pretty rubbish.
I've heard that. The pasta is pasta and tomato sauce. Carbonara sauce.
I've had better Italian food in South Africa, and before people go, yeah, but that's not authentic. I'm like, wait a second, whoa. These are restaurants owned by Italians in South Africa, making food in South Africa with their Italian recipes or whatever. They do it better here. You do not need to spend a fortune and sell a kidney, fly to Rome, and eat anything there, because honest to God, our pizzas are better, our pastas are better, everything we do here is better. They do a decent steak, but then you have to go to an American style steakhouse in Italy, and they have lots of those. The best food I had there was American style steakhouses and an Irish pub that sold me Guinness, run by a real Irishman, where we watched the Rugby World Cup. And yeah, so if you're going to go to Italy, don't go there for the food. And our wine's also better. And I'm trying to think. But go there for other reasons. But go to Greece. Go to Greece for the food. The Greeks have the best food in Europe, between them and the French. And they're friendly, and they like guns, and they're fucking disorganized, which means you'll be right at home, straight off the bat.
That sounds good. But
that's my travel
they
tip.
have a bit of some of the customs are a bit weird, but you'll get used to it. If you want to stay there, you can get used to it.
Yeah, my uncle lives in
You'll catch
Athens,
on pretty quick.
And to be honest, Greece is fun. If you need to go to Europe, to the Mediterranean, and you're on a budget, just go, and you want good food, just go to Greece. Just go there. Go to that place. Don't plan anything. Just rock up there. Be prepared to rough it. And don't eat in the tourist restaurants. Just eat at the local places, even if they look dingy. It's fine. You're going to sit in a plastic chair in the street, but they'll feed you really good stuff. And the Greek salad has like 4 ingredients. It's tomato, cucumber, capers, and olives. Sorry, and feta. That's 5. There's nothing more. They don't add fucking onions. They don't add lettuce and also other cuck. It's literally tomatoes, cucumbers, feta, olives, capers. That's that. That's your Greek salad.
I have a Greek salad without the olives. Thank you. All the olives.
You can just take the olives off and you can feed them to Graham. You can make him open his mouth on the other side of the table, and then you can do like little basketball things. We go whoop, and you try to get it, and you can keep score about how many you can get in before he chokes to death or you miss. Okay, so thing of nouns, ammo reloading components. Our reloading kit is arriving at CHS for personal use next week. Getting powder is a complete fuck up. I still had some primers left. Ozzy still had some primers left. You can get bullet heads. You can get cartridge casings easy. You can get reloading presses easy. Primers, not too much of a problem, but powder is a big fuck up. That's your major issue. I don't know, Marika, you reload?
I don't, but my dad does. So
does he have powder? If he needs,
whenever there's a special, we stock up on things. So I don't think we will move off Somchem for at least the next 10 years.
Okay, so you've got enough batches. That's awesome. Chris disagrees with my assessment on Italy. I clearly went to the wrong restaurants. So, unbiased, I'm willing to Colonel, we should probably do a travel show at some point. Let me know if your audience can stand me, and if you'd like to risk having me on your show, I'd love to come back on, by the way. Kat, no, the dressing was olive oil and balsamic vinegar, but you have to pour it yourself. That was it on your Greek salad. Marika Piratus, what do you think of the CZ Brand 2?
Yes, you can answer that. I don't know that. I'm going to pull a germ and get myself a refill. Or a Gideon as well, since you guys haven't learned anything, and me neither, apparently. Okay.
I actually needed to Google this thing. Hang on. Oh, it's the CZ assault rifle. It seems to be honest, I know nothing. Look, I know a lot about the Scorpion Evo 3, which you actually, guys, if you're on the stream, we have one of those in stock at CHS Guns and Ammo. It's not that expensive. It's a fucking awesome pistol caliber carbine. The CZ Brand 2 looks actually quite legit. It's in service in Argentina, the Czech Republic, France, Hungary, Portugal, Slovakia, Kenya, Thailand, and a couple of other places. So it's probably a decent enough platform in 5.56 NATO. And I see the Brand 2 is in 7.62x3.9, so that's an AK cartridge. That should be a lot of fun. If anyone on the channel has experience with one of those, please let me know. Factory ammo is a huge issue at the moment. There's a lot of bad comebacks on the Sterling stuff. We still have some SMB in stock at CHS, but not a huge amount of it. And we'll be getting more in Jan. By the way, we're getting about 60 Glocks next week as well. So if you're in the market for Glocks, we've got an M&P 15 with a Magpul front end. M&P Sport 2, it's retailing around about 20K. So if you want an M&P 15, we've got that. We've got the Scorpion Evo 2. We've got the CZ Shadow in stock. We've got a couple of Smith & Wesson pistols that are always good. And we're getting a huge amount of Taurus and, CZs and Glocks next week. So please check in with CHS Guns and Ammo. Let me scroll through the... Ammo almost impossible to find. Yeah, I saw this in the US. The left has been buying guns, which is beautiful. I love how gun control is dying this year, in the sense that South Africa... let me just answer this. Colonel, whenever. I'll make a plan to be on your channel whenever you have a gap. I will cancel my evening's proceedings and we'll make it happen. So I've seen the fastest growing demographic of new gun owners in SA. Young black professionals under the age of 30, about 30% of those being women. And this is from having spoken to various dealers as to their customer profiles. And it's probably even more so on that direction. Gun control's dead. The government can say whatever it wants. It ain't coming back. Heavier bullets to save on powder, especially if you load the bullet core polymer coated stuff, you use very little powder. Very, very little. Hello, Mareike. Did you get your refill?
I did, yes. Some nice Booplas single malt.
That's exactly what I'm drinking right now.
The 6-year-old.
No, not the 6. You've got the really nice one. I'm drinking their standard one, but even their normal blend is, well, it's not really a blended whiskey. It is kind of a single malt, but it's not aged 6 years.
I forgot I can't drink single malt. I'm going to be completely smattered by the end of the stream.
Yes, cheers. Ching ching. Ching, ching, ching. There you go. This is a South African whiskey. This Baines and even the Three Ships is pretty good, but Booplas is superb. It's the smoothest South African whiskey I've ever drank, and that's why I'm having it neat. There's no ice.
This is a lovely whiskey. Oh, it's lovely.
Did I say assault rifle? Yes, I did. I read that straight off the Wikipedia article. There was a restaurant called Trattoria in Pretoria. Trattoria in Pretoria. That's fucking hilarious. It was awesome. It was near the Hazelwood or Waterkloof post office. You walk in this unassuming front-like area, and it had these fairy lights hanging in old Italian movie posters and music. Oh, it was glorious. It was so glorious. And it closed, unfortunately. But if any of you went to Trattoria in Pretoria, just share your experience in the chat and I'll put it on the screen to say it was great or it was cack. Glocks for there we go. Glocks for Christmas. But yeah, we're getting CZs as well. We'll have some P10Cs and stuff like that in stock next week. Hang on. Where was Iceman? Gideon didn't get the info. Yeah, Gideon was mostly in a dwell. That's where you Mr. Punisher, you need to be more specific. Two rums, which I had before the stream, and a whiskey deep, and I can't remember. Nothing wrong with the CZP09. I've been selling a lot of Tauruses to people lately, and the quality control on the Tauruses has been significantly improved. I've seen good results from them. They are a lot cheaper. Some people can't afford to buy CZs and Glocks. I've absolutely zero issues selling a Taurus to anyone because I know the gun will fucking work. It's not like I'm selling them. What is those horrible things? Lawsons. I'm not selling you a Lawson. I'm selling a Taurus. There's no comparison. Mareike het so bietjie gefrons.
I'm not listening to you. I just zoned out.
Yeah, Chris, was this at Somerset West by any chance? Because we may have had this conversation with the guy today. The barrel might be salvageable though. But yeah, the Sterling ammo problem. Have you been cancelling in your time? No, I've not been broadcasting at all. I've been really terrible with my live streams because life has just been nuts. But I should really get back on that horse, especially now that Facebook wants to cancel me. YouTube. Well, look, that library TV or Rick, if you're still here, we need to go to MeWe. We need to go to Parler. I've got a Parler account. I don't have a MeWe one.
I have a MeWe account, and Rick and I are already connected on it.
Excellent. Can you start a Paratus page, please?
Yes, next year.
I'll send you the artwork. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Because you're basically a shareholder. I just need to add you and a couple other people as directors. if you don't mind. Send me your ID numbers.
Speaking of shareholder, show us your Zapper.
Oh, yeah, look, it's not like
Oh,
this thing is
wait.
making money. There's a Zapper. Hang on, overlay.
No, put it back. Wait, put it
Wait.
back. Put it back.
Put it back. Okay. Do you want that? This or SnapScan? I've got both. Are you seriously paying me on my own? No.
Yes, I'm paying myself now.
You're paying yourself. And there's the SnapScan for people who want that. I mean, I just want to say, and this is not the alcohol speaking, I'm genuinely grateful for all of you who, like the 100-odd people that are watching this on a Friday night and thinking that this is a fun thing, because I'm having fun. I think Mareka's having a lot of fun. My dog is having the time of his fucking life because he's sleeping and he just had snacks and dinner. So if you're having as half as good a time as me and Angry Bird, booyaka shot. By the way, can anyone recommend a good guest house in Belleville?
Too late. Got one. Already paid for it.
Okay. Problem solved. Your Baines is pretty decent, Johnny.
I'm not gonna wait for your recommendation. I mean, I asked you, I gave you 24 hours, and I'm like, oh, okay, no, Gideon forgot. I'm not gonna nag Gideon. I'm just gonna do my own thing because, strong, independent women don't need no man.
Can I be honest
with you? You and I are going to Pringle Bay.
Yeah, it's worse than being than forgetting. It's being useless. That's the problem. So it's like, take that knife, you stabby, and then you twisty. It's like, but we live. What? Bosveld booze. Now I'm really glad I've been to Highland Park. Oh no, but
this
Colonel,
isn't Bosveld.
None of this comes from the Bosveld. No, it's not. It's from Roberts. No, origin of Boerplaas is like
the place with the sea. Calitzdorp. It's the Cape.
Do you know where Calitzdorp is?
Yes, I know where it is. Okay, it's not Stellenbosch.
I forgot. I was, but CJ is here. Sorry, JC. Jesus Christ, McFarland is here, and he will tell us. JC, where's Calitzdorp? I forgot. Thank you so much, Chris. You are a rock star. Werner, it's always nice to see you too, sir. As well as Rudy and Pete Buttons. Are we the 50-50 of the Friday night? I like that. Dylan has proposed to you.
That's like his second time today. Dylan?
Really?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Grod's having fun. Miwi sounds like a golden showers thing. Well, no. That would be me, we, on we. You need to. Thanks, Colonel. There is no comment on here that is not allowed. I have Miwi, but it sounds like something one should not admit. I know. There's, if it makes you feel better, I've got an account on Minds that no one else is on. It feels like MySpace all over again. Like you're hanging out with weird people you don't know, and everyone is too cool for you, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, I have a Minds as well. It's nice. There's a bunch of nice stuff on it, but to connect with people and I don't know, growing your following, it's kind of difficult. I mean, Facebook has been around for 13 years in the public domain. That's a while to you build up a community over time and you build up followers and stuff, and
that's exactly it. So all 100 of you, all 100 of you watching, please go to paratus.info and add your email on the email mailing list, so that if everything goes to hell and I become like a complete excommunicated fuckwit, that's not allowed on YouTube, that's not anywhere, then at least every time I post something on my own page that I own and host, you will know, and then you can go. You'll even get on email. and they don't even have to open the article. Go, oh God, Gideon's written some bullshit here. So, by the way, Marika, when are you writing me an article? Because Brian's written me one.
Next year.
Okay. Is everything happening next year?
Everything is happening next year.
But that is, God, that's 27 days away.
Yeah, so you can wait. We've been waiting 8 months for lockdown to end. I'm sure another 8 months won't matter.
Like, I know elephant pregnancies are longer, but I mean, like, I'm trying to keep. Oh, that was the same comment. Sorry, I seriously thought he asked you to marry him again, but no, that was the previous one. Sorry, Dylan. I apologize. Rudy, I'm so glad you rate the show as high as you do. Was having a crack. Thanks, Curdle. But I'm really chuffed that Chris Wyatt, who is tuned into my channel. It's fucking awesome. Gideon, who is a pilot, needs to be able to navigate and know his maps. Doesn't know where Colorstorp is. Well, maybe if I was sober, I would. But at this point, okay, it's in the Karoo. That I kind of knew, but the Karoo is fucking humongous. It literally stretches from pretty much the west coast all the way through to Oudtshoorn and then a little bit. So it's a huge piece of topography. I don't know what else to call it. And by the way, the computer did most of the navigating. Okay.
Gideon is just there to make the people feel better just before they die.
That's exactly what it is.
It's that last soothing. It's the last soothing voice you hear before the ground slams into your face.
But it's not very soothing, though. I don't have like the proper radio voice. That's the problem. So people are they're about to die.
We definitely got the face for radio.
This is true. But so does Sasha Martiningo, okay? He definitely did.
But he's not called the Italian stallion for nothing. Did you not know that?
No. This is the first time in my life. Really?
Yes. It was like his jingle on 5FM, the Italian stallion.
Oh, God. Yeah, but okay, that's self-assigned, though. We would never know if it was the case. Me-wee pee-wee, me-wee on me. I like this. Hang on. No, Dylan. Like, between you and, like, you have to fight Graham. And...
Oh, sorry, my money's on Graham. Also, I'm on Graham's side.
Will there be a Whiskey Friday on Christmas Day? Fuck, Pule asking the heavy-hitting questions. No, because I'm definitely in Swellendam with the Fandamily, but I'll do something special. We'll do something before Christmas and after Christmas. We might do, Marika, we might actually stream
together.
Together?
Yes.
With Brian there on from where? From Pringle Bay. Yeah.
Or from your couch. I don't care. Or from my couch. I don't care. So
yeah, no. This has got better. This has got better internet. So and I've got all the things set up here. So this could work. Yeah. We'll do something decent. Moenie komkommer nie Pule. We've got you covered, my friend. Hang on a second. I'm just going through the comments. Marika, say something wise, clever, or otherwise interesting while I do this.
Eddie wants to know if I'm getting married next year. Yes, probably to myself. That's a thing, actually.
I was about to say that's a thing.
That is a thing. You can marry yourself.
So
I will be my own beneficiary when I die.
So I'm going to leave you alone with the audience to go and refill quickly. But before I do that, just to answer the Colonel's question. So what I did, I posted a still frame from Schindler's List where I think I said something about autocracy or Nazis or whatever. And this was bad. Big Daddy Sugar Mountain didn't like that. And I got a 30-day ban. And I think Paratus is on strike 2 3/4 out of 3 because I spread fake COVID news by actually by publishing an article from the actual Spectator, which is a highly, highly, highly respected publication. That was unacceptable. The one on the Danish mask study. So everything that goes against the fucking mainstream thing gets you into shit. So that's where I am. I'm up shit creek without a paddle in Facebook land. We. Yeah.
We should definitely try to get an alternative. Yes, no,
Yeah.
Facebook is going downhill. Definitely. They are like overreaching and overthinking, and their algorithms and fact checkers don't
Sorry,
take
anders like
context.
dankie Marie, ek waardeer.
Well, my masculine traits are more developed than my feminine traits. So yeah, it takes a bit of work to get the femininity to come forth. That's why I'm drinking whiskey.
I was about to say, it just takes a decent whiskey. Are the CIA inspectors in the house? No. Well, they probably are because they sure as fuck aren't working. Never do. Sorry, CIA inspectors, but like you kind of earned that one. Besides, I'm not flying anymore. I don't care about a regulator that is. You have no power here. Ha ha ha! Like that scene from Lord of the Rings. Not Lord in the Rings, Lord of the Rings. Whoa, that's how you ruin the title with just changing one aspect. Lord in the Rings just doesn't sound okay.
It's like a boxing match.
No, it's what, and if you're Catholic, just quickly mute and go away for 5 seconds. I'll give you hand signals where it's safe to come back. Lord in the Rings is like the highest ranking priest among the choir boys. Okay, that's what that is. And you can come back now if you're Catholic. Sorry, really, that was not the worst Catholic joke I've ever made, but it was. Put SnapScan on again for about a minute. A minute? No, that's a bit long, but I'll give it to you because you can rewind. Marek, you need to move to the side. We can leave it there for like 10 seconds. I'll time it. Because you can rewind and scan with your phone if you really want to, because this is a live stream, so you can just catch up. And it's not like
but you know how long it takes to actually find a specific scene in a live stream. If you forgot what time it is, you have to like go through everything. And if you put your SnapScan on for like only 10 seconds, you miss it on your YouTube 30-second skip thing.
Yeah, this is true. So, my apologies for being terrible at taking people. I am really cuck at taking people's money, which is a problem if you're in retail. Apparently, all the pilots sound like me, which is great. I love it because it means I don't sound like them; they sound like me. So if you're flying planes, fuck you, you sound like me. Did I mean secession? Oh, Kat. Yeah, listen, there's this big secession march in Skelmtos tomorrow, Clutisville. Go do that thing. I'm not going to be there, but I actually it's one of those things I believe in. I've been a secessionist since forever because fuck the government. Hang on, the Colonel. There's a conservative platform developer called Credo. I'll definitely keep an eye on that. Please remind me if you're still watching me in 2021. I'd really appreciate it. They banned me 30 days just before lockdown because I shared something offensive. Yeah, that's what you do. You can share a picture of a dog and it'll be fucking unacceptable for some reason. Sorry. Mareike, I can't hear you. You're muted.
If it's a German Shepherd, then it's oppressive because the police used German Shepherds in the 1970s and 1980s. And Rottweilers and Dobermans.
This is true. That's very true. So, Dion, yes, and I think that was maybe bad communication from my part, which is entirely possible, but it's not, that was never to vilify 3D printing. 3D printing is an industrial process. It's as normal as a lathe as anything else that goes on. It's as 3D printing material is as common as plumbing piping. My point is that what 3D printing allows, it allows the flawless replication of parts across international boundaries, across mediums, across everything. It allows you to do stuff easier, cheaper, and with more precision than ever before. It has killed gun control. It killed gun control years ago, but it's killing it more now. And the fact that we're still debating licensing guns for people the way we are ignores the fact that if you are really like committed to getting a gun illegally and doing bad shit with it, with a 2,000 Rand 3D printer and some buckets of water and electricity and stuff in your garage, in 2 weeks of time, you can make a rifle barrel that's steel that can handle pistol caliber pressures with 3 minutes of angle accuracy at like 50 meters, plus the actual fucking receiver of the thing. You can make that in 2 weeks. Easy. Gun control doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. And I think that's the message I would like people to take away from that statement, is that 3D printing just accelerated the reality that you can't stop the fucking signal. So stop trying to stop the signal. Just stop it. Just stop. It can't be stopped. Just accept it, work around it. No one fucking does. That's why we wear masks for a fucking virus and destroy entire economy for something that's 99.98% survivable a day. What do I know? I'm just an unemployed pilot drinking whiskey.
That somebody else has to buy for you because you're broke.
Because I'm broke. Exact. Truth bomb. But anyway, you've got the rail tracks a little bit. You talk about something.
Okay, you go.
You're not really here for me.
Get your stuff. Where was Tion's comment?
Which one?
Jeez, like Tion's last comment, the one that you just commented on.
Oh, Tion, sorry.
You are so behind on the comments. I can't even find it in the stream. Jeez, like I want to find the next one. Oh, anyway, well, Tian, thank you for the stuff that you sent us. I've got some of them back here. I don't know if you can. This the
harder
and the apparatus thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
I see it.
That's quite nice. Thank you.
By the way, story for Tian. His one he sent me that says "Harder Daddy" on it is my favorite thing ever. It's got its central place in CHS, and there was a wild medics course on where one of the chicks attending it took offense that during her tea break, she quietly went and turned it around so that people couldn't read it. We caught her on the CCTV camera doing it, and we're like, she couldn't handle it just being on the shelf there, being on display, saying "Harder, Daddy." It was fucking hilarious. She had to turn it around. But anyway, sorry.
Yes, one from Pule. I saw a foreign national wearing a SAPS uniform today. That's not allowed. No.
Yeah.
That, as far as I know, foreign nationals cannot be police officers.
No.
So he's probably impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, that's a good indication of it. Everyone wants to be left alone with you. So
I don't want to be left alone with them. Help. I'm scared. Don't leave me.
Strong, independent woman. Moss?
Wait. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
You've got the like. Thank you, Mel. You wouldn't download a car? I would. Fucking
I
watch
definitely would.
Reality is killing gun control. Exactly. But there's a reason why they call those things maligators. I think, if I recall correctly. What do you see, Marika? You look like you're focusing there on something.
No, I'm Stian says it's a pleasure to make Marika another one and your affair shirt. I don't know what it means. It's a pleasure that I get. Well, I still have to make Marika and another one and your affair shirt. Okay. Thank you, Tian. We'll look out for them.
Hi, Beth. The word WhatsApp triggers me because it's, oh God, I'm terrible. Send me another one so I can come to the top of my list, please, if you don't mind, because I don't reply
Jeez,
to millions
Gideon,
of
that's
messages.
horrible of you. That is just horrible.
I know. This is actually like Whiskey Friday is my annual, like, it's like what you do when you take self-flagellate, you fucking whip yourself once a week. Is like when people come to tell me, like, you do us, you're not answering our messages. I'm like, I'm sorry. I feel suitably chastised because they can cuck on me in public and there's nothing I could do about it. What's the end game of the shit show of a pandemic? The clear picture I see is authoritarianism bullshit like in fucking 1984. I have no idea what a Mayan death whistle is. Actually, I do have a vague idea of what it is.
That sounds like a fantastic thing to have.
It does. It sounds like all kind of jam. Have you seen some of the improvised weapons? Yeah, like people are making some really cool shit in their garages. Okay.
But that's fine, people should be able, you can go. People should be able to make whatever they want to be able to protect themselves. I mean, why the hell? Why not? You can teach yourself martial arts. You can teach with a buddy. You can brawl. You can wrestle or whatever. Protect yourself. Make your own pepper spray if you have to. Learn how to use a knife. Learn how to use a gun. Whatever. 200 years ago, women were protecting the ranches and the farms and the wagons and whatever. They knew how to ride horses and drive a wagon and all those things. Women 200 years ago weren't as fragile as they are today. Exactly. The men actually depended on the women to keep the place safe. So why the hell can't you do something about it? Your life is in your hands. And I'm preaching to the choir, but in case that there's somebody else out there that needs to hear this message, your life is in your hands. Nobody else should control it for you. They're trying to, but you can still stop that. You don't have to just roll over and say, okay, please kill me, like a little obedient dog when this big German shepherd is standing over him. Don't bare your neck and your soft underbelly parts. Be like the alpha wolf, or even the alpha female that protects her alpha male. That's why there's a man and a woman. They each have a role in society, both physically and emotionally and mentally. So man up, woman up, stand up.
Exactly.
Get a grip on your life and take back control. Take back what is rightfully yours.
Even better, fight gender-based violence. Get a grip on a CZ or a Glock or a Taurus or whatever the fuck it is you need. And I'm just putting the comments of people screaming at me on because I think it's necessary that everyone knows I'm fucking awful at communicating. I don't think it's a secret anymore, but I'll just leave Beth screaming at me. While I go get a refill quickly. One moment.
You should have been back for your second refill now. Yes, Beth, I'm going to the Cape between Christmas and New Year. So Gideon and I will be doing an in-person live stream, maybe, possibly, probably. Also, I will be in the Cape. So for you Cape Townian people, Western Cape people, if you want to meet up, send me a message. We can make a plan. And Yes, that's it. What does Rick say about? Oh, it makes a chilling, screaming sound. So it's meant to mentally disable the opposition, like the Scots did with the drums and the bagpipes. It's like the deathly, awful noise that's supposed to demoralize your opponents. I love bagpipes. By the way, bagpipes are awesome. Some people might not share my sentiments. Yes, Graham, just say when, just as soon as you get your passport sorted out. So get to doing that. Pule, I am definitely pissed off at people. Generally, the public, the lackadaisical public that just takes this lying down and that's passing their responsibilities off to other people. That's what's pissing me off. Well, I've got leather, not necessarily a leather man. I couldn't find one that I really liked. My jury is still out on that one.
Well, our viewership went up by like 7 people while I was away. So they're clearly not here for me.
How would they know when you leave? It's not like there's a notification that pops up and says, Gideon is off stream. It's Marika only.
No, this is true. But no, it's not every 2 weeks. I was sick last week and it went to hell in a handbasket, but we'll try to keep it up. We might need to have a season end and a season start so we can all just take a break for like a couple of days. I don't know. We'll think about it. But no, Whiskey Friday is Whiskey Friday, guys. It has to be every Friday because this is obviously something that is a lot of fun to a lot of people. So even if Facebook bans me, it's going to count.
Gentle bagpipes is a doodle sock. Doodle sock. Not a doodle, a doodle sock.
Yeah, doodle. You spell it Doedel or something. Yeah, and of course, Buddha just has to point this out. Yeah. Okay. Is this
King
what
of
happened?
nouns? That sounds like a... Hey, don't take off my comment. That sounds like a plan.
You have control.
Yay, so it's gonna be another alt-right meetup.
It probably is. And no, I didn't have the coughs. I had the worst hay fever of my life. And I lost my voice. Kind of.
You definitely had the cough. You know that you've got like a coronavirus. So you would have tested positive because the tests are rigged.
Yeah, no, well, I definitely have had it. Yeah. I definitely have had it at some point. For a fact. What I miss funny Afrikaans words. Yes. Nine machine is
It's a naaldwerkmachine.
It's a naaldwerkmachine. Jou Elna naaldwerkmachine. That always used to fascinate me as a child because they had the little rabbit and the little tortoise on there to set the speed. And then there was a thing that you used to step on with your foot to make it go. And yeah, it was mechanically to me as a kid. I was like, this thing's fucking amazing. It had a needle and shit and just, it would, yeah, sorry. That was probably not appropriate. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going on an hour and a half into the stream and Brian is still missing.
Brian said he's really running into some tight corners. So we must please just be patient. And he's really trying his best to make it to the stream.
It is absolutely... Brian, if you're watching this, it's fine. We've got this, bro. We've got this. Test less, there will be less cases indeed. What else I actually wanted to talk about something that kind of irritated me a little bit about the gun community the past 2 weeks, but you can fill in. So remember when we last talked about budget guns? That they have their space. Their
I'm
place,
sorry, whenever you say budget, I just tune out. I don't do budget things.
No, like that's so elitist. The poors don't get to. If you look at the Taurus product, it's not exactly cheap. Like a $7,500 gun that's not no money. I mean, a high point is like 3,000 rand, and a Lawson is you can't sell a Lawson. You shouldn't sell a Lawson, by the way, ever. But just saying. But for a lot of people, like Taurus is the best they can afford. And from what I've seen with the stuff, what lucky no sure. That it? Yeah, Graham. I should stop leaning into the camera so much because it makes my nose really fucking big. And then,
and there you go and just do it again.
Because I can. As Tion Vermeer's thing says in the background, harder daddy, which is also the summary of John Steenhuisen's speech. And I got a lot of friends in the DA. They're good people mostly. They're just trying to still find their balls. My dog, who's neutered, has more testicular fortitude than that fucking party. And it's sad because I was hoping that, they said the right things and made the right noises, which is always the thing that political parties do when they reinvent, is they make the right noises. But, and this might sound racist, but if you're a white liberal, who the fuck else are you going to vote for? If the DA says, fuck masks, fuck social distancing, open the economy, and you're a Sea Point dwelling mask fanatic piece of shit fuckwit who should really just go drown yourself like Ingrid Jonker, but that doesn't have the guts to actually, or the common decency to go kill yourself. If your party you vote for says that, who the fuck else are you going to vote for? Because you literally have no fit out there. You're not going to vote for Vryheidsfront Plus because you sure as fuck ain't Afrikaans. You're not going to vote ACDP because they're Christian. And you're not going to vote ANC. Well, you might because you're that fucking stupid. But the DA could literally say whatever they want. They could take a position of principle. And Brian is looking not angry at all. And
he's looking like Shrek. He's doing a real Shrek now.
Yeah.
Hello.
And my whole thing. Hello, Brian.
How are you?
No.
How are you both?
No, I was just saying if you're a white liberal who loves lockdowns and masks and you wear a t-shirt saying harder daddy every day as you jog on Sea Point, and the DA comes out and says fuck lockdowns and masks, who the fuck else are you going to vote for? It's not like you're going to rebel against them and go like, I'm voting Dacha Party. I mean, it's, and
well,
this is the thing.
Nothing's going to stop you to vote Dacha Party or any of the smaller
Dacha
parties.
would probably be a far better fucking party than.
Yeah. But my point is that your own self-hatred is going to stop you, right? So there's nothing. This is the thing that pisses me off about the DA. Nothing stops them from taking a position of principle that says there's no science behind this economic murder and this crime against humanity. We oppose it and all. Now, John fucking Stonehouse is going out there, Mr. Matrick himself, saying, if you don't obey, we think law enforcement should fucking enforce it more. I'm like, fuck you, John. Go suck a big, fat hobo dick and sprinkle the dick cheese over your Greek salad.
What did the hobos do to you? Hey, so
actually, good point. Like, I'm sorry, homeless people, you deserve better than that. I apologize. I apologize.
I have a comment and a question on that one. So, number one, Yeah, well, you got to be easy on John because he doesn't have the education to understand the science. Okay, so just bear with him a little bit. Okay, and
We're being education elitist now, but anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to.
yeah, well, I've missed a little bit. I've been, doing
Well,
other
I've
things.
got
Yeah, that's a question.
I've got a tertiary education. He's got a tertiary education. I don't know about Brian. You too. You went to
Yeah.
Boston. Yes.
Yes.
Well, elitist. Yes, here we are.
But and actually, for my sins, I'm doing some more of them. But my question is this: what party do white liberal South Africans vote for now? Because all of the white liberal South Africans seem to be crying out that the DA is fascist and
No, this is a good question.
not representative of their values and all that sort of stuff.
That-
So
You know
who do they vote for?
I'm gonna say something very controversial to the people that know me and support me, but the ZACP has dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
That was
Not just a little bit, Marika.
I had-
We have dropped the ball, not just a little bit, massively.
massively. This was the ZACP's chance to shine.
Yeah.
And as much as I love their 10 principles and what they stand for, and the spontaneous fraternity thing that they went on about, the leadership dropped the ball. Gideon, you and Roman and Canton and you guys, you are amazing. You did an amazing job to start this thing. But as leadership, ZACP has failed the people. They have failed their supporters. There were many times that people on the Facebook group asked for, listen, what the hell is going on? Can you give us some idea of what direction this party is going in? And we kept on defending you guys and saying, but you also have jobs, you are entrepreneurs, you are living your thing, the ZACP people should take care of themselves. That's a noble idea, but the time is not ready and the people are not ready for that kind of thing. So going forward, whoever is going to be in the ZACP should definitely take people's psychology into account and what the lockdown did to people and what people are needing at this moment, because what they need is direction. People do need leadership. As much as we want people to be independent and thinking for themselves, people still need leadership.
Yeah.
They still don't want, they still want to pass that responsibility on to somebody else, but that is always going to be the case. Always. We are never going to be in a purely free society where everybody is just doing the right thing. There's always going to be some sort of law and order and rules that's supposed to be implemented, and people need leadership. They need direction. They will completely fall apart without people telling them what to do. So going forward, if you guys are ever going to meet again, and I don't want this thing to die, because I love the ZACP, I absolutely love everything they stand for, but take into account what the people want, because not everybody is thinking the way we do. They just need that little nudge to realize, but wait, actually, I do agree with what these people stand for, and I think I can get behind them, because the other parties have failed me. They have failed to protect my freedom. They have failed to speak out. And this is what is most disappointing to me about the ZACP, is nobody from leadership came out and spoke out against the lockdown. I mean, all that was needed was an official press statement from the ZACP saying,
in an official capacity. Hang on.
In official capacity. The Facebook group, Christoph Smits, the admins are not speaking officially. We are not speaking officially on behalf of the party. That has to come from leadership, and that was all that was needed.
No, that's true. But to be fair, right, the various leaders within the ZACP were very public and about being anti-lockdown in their personal capacity. So what you're saying, Marika, is 100% true, right? And noting the passion that you are saying it with, my question is, why aren't you on that leadership board or on that leadership group?
Two things,
this year was not my year for me, which is why I keep saying next year, because I still have some responsibilities to take care of.
Well, then, okay, there's your answer.
So, here's my thanks. Firstly, to say, Mel, thank you. French kiss, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Gideon's melting for you, Melt.
Yeah, I am. Secondly, my biggest fear always was that the ZACP would become a libertarian party, in the sense that, hi, we pitch every 4 years and then fuck off, which is exactly what the Libertarian Party is. And because it's a consistent commitment to grind. And with the gun, because my portfolio was guns and stuff, and I pushed and speaking, it's not fair. I'm not going to say I didn't feel like anyone had my back. I know Canthan and Ramon had a lot going on, and everyone else did a lot going on. So it's not accusation, but we need to, and this is actually a really good thing that Marika brought up, and I'm going to pick up my telephone tomorrow and do something I normally don't do, and actually phone. I'm going to call Canthan, I'm going to call Ramon and say, if you don't want the ZACP anymore.
Snowing in Cape Town tomorrow.
No, here's the thing. I think it's a fair thing. I say, if you don't want the ZACP anymore, then give it to me, and then I can give it to people who really do want it. And between a bunch of us, we might not be fucking very good at this. But let's be honest, this is the one thing of the campaign that grinded me, is when people came and said to me, ground me, what do you offer better than the current leadership? I'm like, if we even have to have this conversation, a fucking lobotomized ragworm that I trod in the fucking sewage plant has better capacity for governance than any of the fucking people currently employed, and you're questioning my and everyone else's qualifications. Like, how fucking stupid are you? Quite literally, the soccer party would have been better. That's the level of governance we are at in this country, and that penny hasn't dropped with people. And David Bart Donkey again. And I think that's where the ZACP needs to go, because
so there is
on fire, by the way.
There is another thought. Right, sorry, I'm fucking half out of focus here. Is that the ZACP might be a little bit ahead of its time when it comes to South Africa, because
but it still needs to be there. That's the thing.
Yeah, and no, it absolutely needs to be there. I think it should be one of those sort of change agents, right? It's disruption is good. Positive change disruption is fucking awesome. But you know, even as you look through the comments here, you see the depth of stupidity that exists amongst certain people in the South African voting pool, where some fucking dickhead is still spouting 1980s political rhetoric. Because I'm sorry, that's where his fucking mind is stuck. Okay, you need to unstick your fucking mind from 1980s, and this is to both sides of the fucking political spectrum, whether you be all the way on the fucking left, all the way on the fucking right. Right? Because you're both equally stupid when you're stuck on those two fucking spectrums. Okay? And you've got to admit that, oh no, you know, we're not swart gevaar, rooi gevaar, or Indiër gevaar, or whatever gevaar anymore. Right now in South Africa, it's the common good, decent people against the fuckwit governments. And the government, I'm sorry, includes to a large degree the fucking DA who sit there, and Alan Windy saying, wear your mask. You're so naughty when you don't wear your mask. I'm going to lock you in the naughty corner and ride you all fucking night. Okay? Because that is the level of fucking politics that we're looking for. We're looking for these extremes. Oh, if I'm for you, I've got to hate everyone fucking else.
And on that note, can I quickly dispense some legal advice quickly to the audience?
Oh God,
who are
please, I'm
watching?
not speaking on behalf of Paratus or all opinions of my own, and don't reflect anybody I know for whatever.
No, so I checked in with a legal counsel that makes a living out of suing the police. And I said to him, listen, what's the story with like the DA threatening to have people like fined or prosecuted for masks and this sort of cuck? This is the response verbatim. It is not an offense to not wear a mask, nor is there any criminal sanction. The only sanctions that were ever applicable related to the person in control of premises who failed to ignore regulations. So you as a member of the public, walking out and about, going about your business, if any fucking person or pig in uniform with a badge tries to get you an admission of guilt fine, tries giving you shit for not wearing a mask in public, that's fucking illegal. Tell them, please, I refuse to sign an admission of guilt, and this fine is bullshit. If they threaten to arrest you, say, please arrest me. Please arrest me. I could really use a malicious arrest payout and taking your pension for my Christmas fucking bonus. Please arrest me. Here, like, cuff me, you fucking stupid cunt. Don't say that. Think that part, but don't say it. That's the invoice, not the outvoice. But you get what I'm saying. So yes, and Brian is.
But if your company still requires you to wear a mask, and they can't disciplinary charge you if you don't, just take that into account. Just because it's not illegal to not wear a mask, if your company specifies that, they can still charge you. My company can still charge me because I'm not wearing a mask. Yeah, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
As someone who's self-employed, I would never, ever, ever fire myself for that. But
can you imagine being such a status that you have to fine yourself if you're not wearing a mask?
Yeah, I have to discipline myself for not wearing a mask. Do you mind?
That's definitely self-flagellation. Like, whoop yourself.
Oh, fuck, absolutely. Where's Kakarot? Carriget, listen, writing to carry around. Kakarot, send me an email to this email address. That's the only one I read. And I will send you the person's contact details so you can have them on file. I do read my emails.
So and JC says, Judge Fabricius wrote a hell of a good obiter dictum. Any chance you can send us the link there, JC? He's just put his email up. It would be if there is a link available.
Collins Koza, wow, what a tragedy. What a tragedy that Collins Koza did not get the same traction that What's-His-Face did.
Yeah.
What an absolute tragedy.
We were all about Black Lives Matter in South Africa, but only if it's not a South African Black life. Some fuckbag in America who's got no connection with this continent or this country can die in a disputed accident, incident, confrontation. And all of a sudden, the entire world needs to kneel, and people wear fucking black armbands, and the fucking South African cricket team, when they're not busy choking on some fucking opposing team's dick, fucking kneels on the ground, because on their knees is where the Proteas belong, because it's all they're fucking good for. When they're not busy with stupid pandering bullshit of the worst order that irritates me. And I'm sorry I'm so vulgar, but it just, God, there's a part of me. We are killing, legitimately killing, and I don't care about the race, but because this is BLM, let's racialize it. We are killing black kids in this country. We're forcing them to forage like fucking wild animals for leaves in the Eastern Cape because the economy is that fucked that they've got nothing else left. They're drowning in pit toilets. They get murdered by the SAPS and the NDF due to misconduct. Not a single fucking person, not Julius Malema, not Cyril Ramaphosa, not Ace Magashule, not Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, not any of the EFF cunts at all said a single fucking thing about that happening. Not a word at all. But some random fuckwit in America gets his ticket punched, and that's an American problem. And all of a sudden, we're owning that as like a thing. God, the level of stupidity, lack of critical thinking, utter ridiculousness of it. The Great Reset is maybe exactly what we need because so many people are going to die. So many. And they fucking deserve it.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Can you imagine how much space we're going to have for one another? By the way, I'm supposed to be part of the 1%. So not going to hate on you people, but if you need help, just let me know. I have a large yard. We can pitch tents in my yard. It's fine. I'm not gonna go all elitist on your ass and say suck it, loser.
So the new normal is you get to choose your squatters.
That's my privilege as a 1%er. I can choose my squatter.
Choose your squatters. And just as a Pieter is a legit microbiologist. Yep.
But if you want,
I can show you what a mask looks like after a woman has put it on. You take it off and it's just makeup everywhere. And what's the first freaking rule of makeup? Don't go to bed in your makeup. Take off your makeup and clean your brushes because bacteria. So there's makeup. Your makeup is on your face. Your makeup transfers to your mask, but it's also on your face. Bacteria transfers to your mask. You breathe out. You make your mask moist and humid, which is like a breathing ground for bacteria. And you breathe that back in. So, no thank you. I don't even wear a lot of makeup, but I also don't wear my mask. So, I don't have
By
that.
The way,
I don't care what's going in my lungs.
This is Mareike's third marriage proposal, I assume, for the evening. Listen, if you want to propose to our co-host, pay fucking money. We've got Zappa, we've got Snapscan, and we've got the whatchamacallit.
Pimping her out yet.
Yeah, but listen,
people, the Lobola, we should decolonize marriage. Pay Lobola.
I'm adding you and Mareike as directors to Paratus Pty Limited next week. So you're all shareholders now. So you're paying yourself, really. If we think about this.
No, Veriatus, you cannot expropriate my heart because I will shoot your ass when you come onto my property.
If I bring guns, can I squat?
I don't know.
Sorry. Yes,
that will not be squatting. That will be property protection.
Yeah, I agree. Look,
Graham is not going to squat in my yard. Graham can sleep under my roof.
You are not. You're not gonna specify where. But
anyone who proposes marriage to El Presidente needs to compete with Graham. Graham is the one who has no heart.
Graham is the first lady. I mean, come on, you can't argue with that. First lady is the first lady.
Christos, two different things, mate. You got to compare apples with apples. You can't compare a pistol with a machine pistol.
I was about to say, but Glock 18 because pistol goes brr. That's why.
But it goes brr, and then all your fun is gone. And having actually shot the thing a few times, it's not that great. I'd rather go with a Glock 48.
I'll take I think for Mareike, if we can get 100,000 votes, that would be good. That'd be a good start.
How many purple oxen?
Yeah, yes. 100,000 votes.
How many is needed for one seat in Parliament? No, we don't want just one seat in Parliament. We want at least 10.
No, but I think that's at least 3. But yeah, I reckon. Okay, you get to. We are all about female liberation. You get to pick your Lobola.
Very artist is a very confused chap. He thinks I'm a snowflake.
I don't care about how many cattle as long as they're free range because half a carcass can last me about 6 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Not if we come and braai often, right? Because we eat a little bit.
So I'm going to leave this question for the experts. Pedri.
What is a good gun for a young boy to learn on shooting? How young are we talking about? .22 rifle is always a great thing.
Are you really certain you're a microbiotechnologist? You're not a Catholic priest, because otherwise we're speaking a different kind of grooming, mate. So you got to be specific.
Pedri is definitely not Catholic. But I'm with Mareka on it. .22 rifle, long rifle. Well, a .22 rifle is a awesome platform because you can teach all the fundamentals, super cheap. It's easy to control. It's fun to shoot. He's going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. Everyone's going to have a good time. And yeah, you can't go wrong with a 2-2 rifle.
In a few years. No, 2-2 rifle, definitely. Ask Gideon. He's got a few. He might lend it to you when he licenses them.
No, I don't have. Yeah. The one license.
2-2 rifle. Wonderful.
Yeah. There's a 10-22 and a bolt.
10.22 is a good bet to get kids into shooting. But rifles overall is a good bet. Because you can put them over sandbags. And you can either do it open sights or you can do it with a scope. Either way, .22 rifle, or even an air rifle. If you want to get started, you don't have to wait for a license to buy an air rifle. Start with an air rifle first. I think that will be
definitely
air rifle.
Yeah, the Gammo air rifles are great. The Spanish Gammos, they're actually really decent air rifles.
Ice wants to know when I want to
meters.
Ice wants to know when I'm going to sort Boris out. Well, I don't know. Ice, I'm kind of hoping he's going to die of COVID-19. Right? I think most of the country here is hoping he's not very popular right now.
The saddest part of getting COVID and being asymptomatic is I don't get to go on social media and tell people how bravely I'm self-isolating and how I'm like just wishing all the best, or wish me all the best, or just try to milk that public sympathy about how I have the fucking cold. And it sucks balls because everyone's like, I tested positive. I'm self-isolating for your protection. You get to project all those wonderful things onto society and be like, how much of a hero you are for just staying at home, eating popcorn and watching Netflix. Like, look how fucking brave and fearless I am for having the fucking flu.
You don't even know if you have COVID. I mean, if you test positive, you just test positive for a coronavirus. And your freaking common cold can also be caused by a coronavirus. It's a rhinovirus, a coronavirus, and a adenovirus. All those things a PCR test will pick up. If you have the sniffles, you will be positive for COVID-19. But you don't actually have that illness. Weirach air rifles are great. I have one. His name is Klaus.
So, Seppi, let's.
Can I quickly interject before you?
Just hang on. No, you should, please, right? So I got to answer Seppi first, right? So let's hope there's a bubble in the tube there, Seppi. But yes, I know that's somewhat mythical, but at least it'll cause him pain. So coming back to, did you were watching the video that I sent you this morning, right? With Castleton, and he was. Okay, I'm now talking to Mareka, right? So you shush there, boy.
Yes,
you watched the video I sent this morning about Castleton, okay? You saw that when they were doing the testings, they were, it's normal to test like 25 cycles, and these idiots were doing like 43 cycles. I mean, they were almost but guaranteeing you were going to get a positive out of their test.
On something, it's going to test positive for something.
Well, a coronavirus, to your point, is one of the most common viral loads you can get. So, yeah.
Well, Seppi Tank says, Boris Johnson is going to take the vaccine live on air. A couple of months ago, a video did the round of some some person in leadership that took the vaccine. A vaccine. I'm not sure what vaccine it was. It couldn't have been the COVID one, but it was a vaccine. But the freaking syringe still had its cap on. The nurse just faked doing a jab.
Oh well,
I think it was somebody in. I can't say. I don't remember. But that's the kind of length that they will go to fool you. Boris Johnson is probably going to be injected with saline or a normal flu shot.
We've got to ask, right? Given how unpopular he is amongst his own party, I'm wondering if he's going to get the opposition to help him with his vaccine live on air, considering he had to get the opposition to help him to get his tier system passed, right?
That's fucking hilarious. Like, and to make it worse, okay, Barack Obama, George W., Bill Clinton, and Boris Johnson are literally all going to be injected live on TV with this vaccine, right? That is the biggest scam of reality TV since Big Brother's fucking shower hour in 2001. Okay? Like, let's be honest. Like, we've had this. We've had reality TV. It went out of fashion. And they're bringing it back again with a vaccine. Like, oh my God, he's getting injected. He's so brave. It's like, there are heroin addicts that do far worse fucking things on a daily basis. And they don't fucking film it to be a hero, because they'll probably get arrested. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you're going to glorify people injecting themselves with shit, just go down to like the worst part of town and fucking cheer your local druggie doing his thing, because that's fine. He's at least being honest about what the fuck he's doing. Whereas,
so Graham makes an awesome point, right? If the presidential bros get injected with heroin, he would respect that. Yeah.
I don't really care about that theory that they're going to alter your DNA. The vaccine that Pfizer has made is an mRNA vaccine, which has to be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. Okay?
Jesus.
It gets frozen, and you have to thaw it out, and within 5 days you have to use that vaccine. Now, people that follow me on Facebook will know that I made a status update a week ago or something about me having a dream about the Caesar salad vaccine. If you get a vaccine that looks like a Caesar salad or a Greek salad dressing, that thing has gone off, okay? Just don't use it. The vaccine that Pfizer is punting has to be stored at minus 70. It has to be used within 5 days. So this entire transportation system has to be this range of cold storage, refrigeration, and minus 70 is really, really cold. That's like
I was about to say, it's
Arctic
really
freezing conditions. It's insane, okay? And totally unnecessary. So just imagine South Africa's conditions. They store a vaccine somewhere and load shedding is coming in. By the way, if this vaccine does come to South Africa, load shedding will probably not happen because they have to keep the vaccine frozen. But the vaccine has to be used up within 5 days. So you take it from your cold storage at OR Tambo, which we don't have. We don't have cold storage there. So you take it from there to a warehouse. From the warehouse, it has to be distributed to wherever other warehouses and rural areas. How are you going to get a vaccine in a truck that's capable of storing something at minus 70 into the middle of the Karoo? Okay, the Karoo doesn't have a lot of cases. A lot of people. So there's not a lot of people, but you need to vaccinate everybody. That vaccine is not going to live for 5 days. Okay, South Africa just does not have the capacity to store and distribute this vaccine, this mRNA vaccine. But if we do wait a couple of months or a couple of years, maybe, we can get a protein-based vaccine, which does not need to be stored at such cold temperatures, and which is the normal base for vaccines to be based on. That you can get. If it takes 5 years for a COVID vaccine to be made, yes, maybe I can get on board with that. But this thing, no. It took 20 years for them to develop an Ebola vaccine. Yes, we actually do have an Ebola vaccine now. It was approved late 2019, and that kind of got lost in all this COVID crap. God. We do have an Ebola vaccine. It took them 20 years to develop a viable base to build the vaccine on, and 5 years of testing. They started testing in 2014. 6 years later, it was approved. Why? They did proper medical testing. Nobody has died in the last 5 years from the Ebola vaccine. It is fine. That is the proper way to test things. And before I give over to Brian, Pfizer was in a lawsuit a couple of years ago for rushing meningitis medicine. 11 kids died because Pfizer skipped all their protocols.
18 kids died.
Well, I know about 11.
That was 18.
I definitely know. Okay. 18 kids died because Pfizer, the same guys that made this vaccine, has rushed all their stuff, skipped their protocols, and gave experimental medicine to meningitis at-risk people. So do you really want this vaccine? Really?
So I want to show you something, right? This is a photograph of the truck ostensibly picking up the first shipment of the vaccine from the Pfizer plant in Belgium. You know, this minus 70 degrees fucking Celsius vaccine. Right, that we have to transport in such a keen manner. This is a photograph of that truck, getting ready to leave the plant in Belgium. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's
all I see is some white light.
Yay!
No. Your vaccine is going to look like salad dressing.
So on that, firstly, thank you to Joe. I will read my WhatsApps because I do it. I know this is like literally the 5th person tonight that shat on me. Legit, and I accept it. I totally accept it. I'm terrible.
Joe, don't ask him to publish shit for you, dude.
Oh fuck yes, that still needs to happen.
Yes.
So listen, you're going to be the host of Spectre Unit UK, but we're changing. We've started it. Okay, a couple of things I need to say. Firstly, about the vaccines, there was some relevant point I wanted to make, and I forgot what it was. But Marika and Ryan covered all of it, I think. We are starting a new shooting sport. It's International Dynamic Shooting Association, IDSA. Brian's going to start the UK chapter.
Okay, I suppose.
I'm going to send the rule book to Marika, but she's going to tear it to shreds. But
you'd like to send it to me too.
It's 13,000 words basically across 50 pages. So
not a PowerPoint.
No, but we want people who legitimately want to become better shooters and better defensive shooters to be able to license as many guns as they need to become that. That's really what it's about. But because I'm banned on Mr. Mark Sugar Fucker's thing, this is the profile you want to friend request. Okay, Garden Hunter. He's in a complicated relationship with garden furniture. Okay, that's the guy you want a friend request on the Sugar Fuckers platform. Okay, God, Jesus, Graham. Oh, you didn't send me anything. Okay. Okay, I didn't. No,
Graham was fucking on fire tonight, by the way.
He was.
That's why
wants
he's my
to
first
teabag-
lady.
He wants to teabag very fucking troll.
Yanni, we don't have a subscriber thing yet, but you can follow Spectre Unit. They've got a skull logo on Facebook for now, and we'll take it from there because that's what it presently is, but we're developing it from there. So yes,
What
with
are we
hopefully
doing?
the
Garden
accreditation.
furniture, right?
Yeah, hunting garden furniture is part of it. So if you get your table and chair set with a umbrella pergola thing, set that up on the range, and you just when the buzzer goes off, you shoot the fuck out of it with SSG.
Can I
Finding
ask
garden
one question?
furniture is a hell of a quest because you need something that's weatherproof and sunproof and won't get brittle because of UV radiation.
So Veratus is asking you your thoughts on Nigel Farage, and I know exactly what your thoughts on Nigel Farage are.
I would like to know. Nigel's fucking awesome. Nigel should have been in Boris's place.
Yeah,
Really
Nigel would have been the Prime Minister the United Kingdom needs.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the last time the United Kingdom had a decent Prime Minister was Maggie Thatcher. The Iron Lady was literally the last decent Prime Minister that fucking Mud Island had. But the last decent president South Africa had was never. The last president any state in South Africa had was Martinus Steyn and Paul Kruger. That was it.
That was before South Africa was the country it was now.
Before South Africa became a country, because South Africa as a country has always been a complete fucking disaster. But anyway, that's just me.
South Africa should totally split. I would definitely support a total split, like a three-way split.
Absolutely.
And then people can go and associate with whomever they want. They can go to northern or the Transvaal area and see if they can live with whatever's going on there, or they can go to the Zulu Nation and they can see if they, associate with that, or they can go to the Cape and see if they associate there. And if they don't associate there, you can go and buy yourself an island.
Yeah. No. Marika will be the best president.
She will be, yes.
Will be. There's yes.
She will be our Maggie Thatcher.
Exactly. The president is nothing without the first lady.
We won't declare war on Argentina under Marika's watch.
No, we like Argentina.
No, why would we? All we want is the Nazi gold. Just give us the Nazi gold back.
Yeah, no. Argentina makes epic meat. We can't declare war.
They do.
Don't Argentina also have an Afrikaans contingent?
They do in Patagonia. There was There's a very good documentary on that, and it's free. The Boers at the End of the World, or if an Afrikaans boere op die aardsdrempel, about the Afrikaners that went there after the Anglo-Boer War. It's a very good docu. Go watch that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. They still speak like proper Afrikaans, like Dutch Afrikaans. It's none of these anglicized words that we currently have.
So it's kind of strange. Argentina seems to welcome sort of persecuted minorities and people from all over the world. In fact, there's a story that I was told by a mate of mine who contracted with me, and he was deployed to the Falklands, part of the parachute regiment, and he said that when he was there, they caught some Argentinian soldiers, took them prisoner, and the chaps were speaking Welsh, and he was asked to come and speak to them because he was the only person who could speak fucking Welsh. So go figure.
They were Welsh?
They were Welsh. Similarly to the South Africans, there is I think it's a smaller group numerically, but there are ethnic Welsh who live in, I don't know if it's Patagonia, but I seem to think it might be. Right?
All the minorities in Patagonia now.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch of Germans in there, right? Not just the former Reich ones, but the general Germans. They there, and yes, we agree on something there. Argentinian, brilliant.
Oh, it is.
Something else.
Actually, wait. The way you two are going on about this means this dude, calm down about the Argentinian beef.
I went to a and this is
If you
really
can't get Argentinian beef, I can recommend a farm in Nelstroom that will supply you with some quality free-range Nguni beef. It's called Watertrap.
Okay,
Straight from the farm.
But no, I was eating in a restaurant in Dubai of all places, and it was a Brazilian themed restaurant, right? Which meant we all had to shave our pubic hairs, and then it was it served Argentinian beef, which was they had a brilliant chef. He was from Kenya, but man, it was just like nothing I'd ever tasted anywhere. And as you can clearly see, I eat a lot, and I eat a lot of good food. And I like to
nice living in a first world country.
Yeah, no, I'll put Argentinian beef against the massaged Japanese cows any day.
Oh, the Wagyu. Well, the whole thing about because Mareka, according to Ramon, is our Wagyu patty, which I think is actually unfair because it means it comes from a cow that's been tagged, traced, like obsessively regulated all its life until the point of its death. It sounds like an average South African citizen, really. Only that they are like Japanese people probably screaming at you. Well, they don't scream; they just write in clipboards. I think Argentinian beef. I haven't had any. I would like to compare it to the best that SA has to offer, but I can tell you one thing: I've had some pretty awesome steaks in France in their beef region there, which blew my mind. And at very similar prices to what you pay in SA, might I add, because the average Frenchman is fucking poor. Outside of Paris, they are not wealthy people at all. They are very, very, very much like.
So Stevie,
I can tell you, I definitely like the taste of free-range beef. There definitely is a difference in taste. I do buy my meat from the farm in Nelstroom. It's free-range organic Nguni beef, and it's a different kind of taste, but it's great. It definitely is. They can make you patties. You can buy half a carcass and you can tell them how you want your meat made up, or you can just buy their pre-made packages. But their patties are so delicious. You don't need any seasoning. You just eat it like it is. Cook it however you want. It's a freaking delicious piece of patty.
Chef kiss.
Jannie says the best steaks was at Buffelsfontein Boerdery. Yes, I have had their 1 kilogram clamp steak, the ribeye steak. It is fantastic, and I did finish that 1 kilogram steak in one sitting. It is great.
So, listen, sorry, there was a legit sort of consumer advice question, right? About
the best lever action or
best
your
lever
best
action. So, I'm not a big lever action expert by any means. Let me put that as the caveat. It depends what you want to use it for, right? And I'll give you some context on that. So people ask, well, what's the best sport rifle? Well, the best sport rifle is in 2.2. It's a semi-automatic 2.2 because you're going to shoot and practice and train and drill that more than anything else. You don't need it to do anything other than make the hole in paper or knock the steel over, right? So using that sort of fundamental, go with the one whose ammo is going to make the least dent in your pocket. Depending on your availability, sort of to the top of my mind, 357 would probably be the way to go. One of the common calibers like that.
I think all the lever actions are awesome because they're all fun.
Oh,
so
fucking all lever actions.
44,
Nice.
38 special.
Yeah, 38 special.
All of them are going to be fun. All of them are going to be. I've always wanted a lever action. Never bought one, but But one day
Gideon,
I will.
you were supposed to come
I
up
can buy them.
to Gauteng before the end of November. Shame on you.
Yeah, but you're coming down to Cape Town before the
Yes,
end
but
of
I
December.
can't bring a lever action with me.
Oh fuck! You've got a lever action.
Yes. Not
Why
me
can't you bring it
personally,
down
but I
with
can
you?
get you access
No.
to a lever action.
Yeah, but I've got Jason Cod down
Marika,
here who's got one as well.
He's being an absolute little bitch. If he walks into the safe at CHS guns, there are tons of lever actions.
Are there?
Right? He can. Yes.
We've got Sunners,
Go and
we've got
fucking-
fucking Protectors, we've got BXPs, we've got G3s, AKs, AR-15s, a fuck ton of Glocks, Tauruses.
Okay, I wouldn't.
CZs.
Maybe not tons, but there are definitely lever actions there.
By the
Go
way,
and play with-
we're getting 60 Glocks next week, 60, of which half don't have owners yet. If you need a Glock in your life, and if you don't have a gun you do, come buy it.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to have owners in about 2 weeks.
Hey,
I am pretty sure I'm going to buy the most expensive gun that CHS has. What is the most expensive gun you have?
Watch it be like a Holland and Holland or a Rigby.
No,
that they've got in the back there.
we've got a couple of interesting ones. Most expensive handgun is probably the Shadow we've got.
There, bought it already.
Yeah, and I already have it. Wait, Yanni, you can stay over. Please come. I have ammo, lots of ammo. Yanni, that's the deal. Let's make a plan. Fuck it. Rick says get a 357 because you can also shoot 38 special in it.
Yeah.
And get
That
a
is
matching
true.
revolver.
That is true.
that is-
Just hope that you don't get pulled over by a dumb police officer.
Well, they're all dumb, but except for Yaku, but he didn't come on tonight because I'll blame Gideon.
Gideon couldn't fucking organize. I know. Pedri, phone me tomorrow. We'll talk. That's all I'm going to say. The
So
shadow
you want
price.
me to- you go ahead.
The shadow price is about 30k, right about there. But
Is that
Phone-
the shadow
phone-
too?
yeah,
Yes.
So Tian, you're answering your own question. 357. There it is.
there
There it is. Go get a 357.
357.
Yeah.
Because
Cheap
the other
enough to
calibers
drop
are
in
just harder to get in SA. They're just you can.
Cheap enough to shoot
But-
off, and you can actually do something fun with it.
Okay, so I reckon. Do you guys want to go for another like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you fading on us? I
Not
mean, I'm
yet,
just
I need-
warming up.
COVID.
Oh, good.
It's
Okay, I need to go
COVID.
deep. I need to go
It
deep.
was like 2 hours of foreplay. I'm ready to go now. Come on.
Okay.
2 hours.
We'll,
Can you start taping?
we'll hammer it from here on. I need to go wee.
Go play with yourself, Gideon. We all know that's what you're going to go and do.
That's how the show rolls. I don't even have the common decency of taking myself off the stream, so I'll just leave the blank. Oh God, I've got nothing to leave behind me. But anyway,
None of us do. So why not?
yeah, but I need to go do that thing. So I'll see you shortly.
You
Okay.
Bye.
should bring a
Bye
bottle
now.
with you.
Bye. Yeah, I'm going to go for 13. I'm going to go wee for 13 minutes.
Yeah, just leave that one up there.
Okay.
Have you had your
Bye.
prostate check yet, dude?
No, I've got another 5 years before that becomes a thing. Thank you.
That's a fucking thing it is.
Chris, these guys are just noobs. They have no idea how to control their bladders. It's
Yes,
just-
says Miss in her adult nappy. Go, Gideon. She's sitting there rocking it out like a boss. I can pee all day. I got the protections.
I went from Beitbridge to Mozambique without using a roadside toilet.
Okay.
And I also went from OR Tambo to Frankfurt without using an airplane toilet. And I went
What
from
airline were you
Frankfurt,
flying on? What airline were you flying on?
Lufthansa.
They do actually clean their toilets. They're not SAA.
It was operated by SAA.
Oh God! Well, then I don't blame you.
And I went from Frankfurt to Montreal without using the Delta Airlines. on one toilet.
Yeah, but that's
have a
probably
large
because
bladder.
you were sitting there shitting yourself that one of the stewardesses were going to jujitsu you off the fucking airplane. Because that's what they do on Delta, isn't it? Like, you get the fuck off my plane, I'll throw you off.
Well, why would they do that? That was before masks were a thing. I'm a very well-behaved traveler.
They threw this dude off. It wasn't for masks. It was for something else. It was something. He didn't put his phone away or some shit like that. They fucking threw him off. I'll go and Google it just now. Stevie actually has a legit question. He was talking about SIG 522 mags. So, Steve, here is my default advice. Anything you want gun-related in South Africa, go to CHS, right? Aziza has fantastically good contacts into the European wholesalers. So it might cost you a little bit, but that is where I would go to. If you have already been down that line and you, by some miracle, did not come right, I can go and Google around for you for a little bit. But I do have another friend. He has one. He also battles a little bit. I have told him on numerous times to go and see Aziza, but he's just lazy. So he still battles.
Oh, Aziza is fantastic. She will go the extra mile for you.
I mean, she'll go the extra 10 miles. I mean, she usually does, right? I mean, hands down, there is no retail outlet in South Africa that I can think of in any industry that beats CHS for customer service. So, Safa went back to.
There was also another airline. I think it was Delta Airlines that turned around because the passengers were not complying with the mask rules.
I'm going to Google that now.
That's the one deterrent that's making me not fly overseas. I mean, I don't want to spend 11 hours with my mask on. Not when I'm flying business class. I mean, what the hell? It's just it's by default social distancing.
So when I flew with Qatar recently, they didn't insist that you wear your mask the whole time, right? They only wanted you to wear your mask when you were walking around the plane. So if you walk back to the toilet or something. But when you were in their seat, they left you alone. That was Qatar. I mean, I don't know how widespread that is. I mean,
but it's like it's really ridiculous. I mean, you're not actually breathing on somebody. You're breathing into the back of a seat. What are the chances of the guy in front of you catching your airborne virus? And you're not even sick. This thing about, but you could be sick and not know it is complete and utter bullshit. I mean, you could be a carrier for measles and not know it. And you could still infect somebody that was inoculated against measles. Adults can still get measles. They can still get German measles. They can still get chickenpox. They can still get mumps, even if they were vaccinated. I was vaccinated against German measles. I got German measles.
Yeah.
At varsity.
My wife as well.
It happens. People get sick and people die. That is just the way it is. I really do not understand why the whole world is suddenly on a rampage about COVID-19 just because it has a name and it's got some representatives.
It's got media traction. That's why
it's got media traction. But so did Ebola. Nobody wore masks against Ebola. Nobody told people how to protect themselves from Ebola. Don't touch dead bodies. Don't touch dead animals. But you still get Ebola from stuff. You still get cholera. You still get E. coli. You can still get freaking food poisoning from just eating a bad egg or bad chicken. I get food poisoning from bad chicken that doesn't even look bad or smell bad. It happens. That is just life.
Yeah, but I think the fundamental...
I'm still angry.
the fundamental difference between COVID-19 and Ebola is Ebola was an African problem. And let's be straight up honest, right? The rest of the world like to say, oh, they care about Africa. They don't care about Africa. Okay? They really don't.
They don't. Africa is a testing ground for other countries.
Yeah, I mean, Africa, for all of its beauty and for all of its awesome people and its absolute epicness, excluding South Africa, which is an utter shithole, right? But the rest of Africa, for all of that, as much as the world says, oh, no, we love Africa and we'll support them and Africa and all of that, they don't. So why would they care about a disease that primarily impacts Africans? Okay? They're caring about a disease that's impacting other people. You get where I'm going? From their perspective, people with more importance, which is sad. It's fundamentally sad, but it's also, what life is, I suppose.
I mean, I was looking through my old status updates on Facebook today. I was looking for a specific post I made, but it seems like I didn't make it on Facebook, so I don't know where I said it. But in 2009, I made an update that said there's something wrong with the H1N1 vaccine. And that was during the H1N1 pandemic. Mm-hmm. Okay. Their vaccine gave people narcolepsy because they rushed it, and people had adverse effects to the vaccine. And that actually made me not get the vaccine ever again.
But
that's exactly what's going to happen with this thing. There's going to be adverse effects that they have not accounted for. They are rushing this thing. It's not been tested. It's not been peer-reviewed. There's no long-term effect study. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, with H1N1, you fall asleep at the wheel. Come on, really? Do you really want to fall asleep while driving? Do you want to fall asleep while, during a meeting? That's a side effect of the vaccine. Everything has side effects. Your antidepressant medication has side effects. Your flu medication has side effects. Your allergy medication can have side effects. Everything has side effects. That is a risk that you should be willing to take. And if you are willing to risk whatever this COVID-19 vaccine is going to give you, that's up to you. Not everybody is going to react the same. I give it to you. Somebody's going to break out in hives. Somebody's going to get asthma. Somebody is still going to get C19, even if they are on the vaccine. That's just what vaccines do. There are side effects. Nothing is the same for everyone. You are going to react differently. What works for me is not going to work for you. That is just the way it is. If you have a healthy immune system, you have absolutely nothing to fear overall, except maybe a bus driving into you, or some idiot overtaking on a white line, or a blind rise, or whatever. That's the only thing that can kill you. If you are overall healthy, please go on and live your life like you're supposed to.
Exactly.
And I'm going to continue ranting on this thing because I freaking hate it. I hate it when people just blindly believe everything that they are told. I mean, come on, think for yourself. I was the most sick. I took flu vaccines until I was 23 years old because I believed I was growing up with asthma. And I actually don't have asthma. I have allergies. Okay? I'm allergic to grass and cats. I don't have asthma. I have an allergic reaction to something. It's not asthma. But I grew up believing I need to take the flu shot because I have asthma. And when this H1N1 thing came out and the side effects were narcolepsy, I'm like, no, I'm not taking this flu vaccine. And it wasn't until this year. I'm 36 years old. Okay? and I realized I do not have asthma. I have allergies. So maybe you should go and reevaluate your medical history because you don't know what your parents have told you. And you don't know that what 30 years ago, what they told you was true is still true today. Science has evolved, okay?
Big time.
There's a difference between chronic asthma and just a closing of your airways. When people have an allergic reaction, the airways close, okay, and they swell up like a pufferfish. There's a difference. Asthma and allergies are not the same. They may present the same, but it's not the same, okay? There's a lot of things that are in your control. You can control your diet. You can control to not eat sugary and fatty foods. You can control not smoking. You can control your exercise regime. There's a lot of things that you can do to keep yourself healthy. Okay? So if you are normally healthy, there's nothing to fear from any disease. And even if you do get the cold, you do get pneumonia, there are medicine. I'm not going to knock medicine, okay? Medicine is a great advantage to people. They are there to help you live a longer life. But there comes a point in your life when you have to reevaluate where you stand, and you have to reevaluate that what you've grown up with maybe not be the truth today. When I was at varsity, the Higgs boson did not exist. Okay, I have a degree in physics. I studied physics that did not have the Higgs boson. The Higgs boson has been proven to exist in whatever capacity. Science changes, medicine changes. Maybe people aren't meant to live forever, but that's a discussion for another day. Anyway,
that's a very good discussion for another day.
I have completely missed my point.
Which was hello, Amy, fangirl. Thank you for being here.
You have nothing to fear from COVID-19 if you are an overall healthy person, which is the message that governments should have given to their people. If you are overall healthy, you do not have high blood pressure, you are not diabetic, you are not overweight, you do not have a pre-existing heart condition, you will be fine. Yes, you will get sick, but you will recover. You have had the flu in the previous 30 years of your life, 40 years of your life. You have had bronchitis. You have had a gallbladder infection. You have had appendicitis. You have had pneumonia. You have survived. Okay? Why the hell are you afraid of this freaking virus?
And the worst part is, Mareike, when this thing hit us, they interviewed a guy who was the fucking epidemiologist or whatever, and he said, this is not an existential crisis. So my question is, why the fuck are we then treating it as if it's an existential crisis from when at the very beginning we all knew it wasn't? Why?
Pedri makes a comment about ADD. Yes, ADD is a thing.
Yes,
I was on what's the generic one for Concerta? Something with a C. Yes, they gave me ADHD medication. It didn't work.
Hydrochloride.
No. Well, no. It's
chlorophyll, chloramyphol.
ADHD, if it's a real condition, can be treated with a diet. Too much sugar gives you ADHD.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one because I don't typically eat a lot of sugar, and unless I take my medication, I'm all over the fucking place. And
okay. Yes,
But you're not typical. Nothing about you.
exceptions. There are exceptions for everything. Everything
Yeah.
has an exception.
Can I answer one question by JC McFarlane? Right? Because she's just gonna rant, and if we don't stop her, she'll go on all night. So JC said doctors tend to pump medication and write out prescriptions far too easily. And JC, you're 100% correct. That's because doctors tend to treat sick people. Okay, if you want to get healthy, you shouldn't go to a doctor. You should go to a doctor when you're bleeding and you need actual medical assistance. And I know that a very good friend of mine who's married to Gideon, because she had a lapse in judgment, right, is an actual doctor. But and I say that with all due respect and not a small amount of fear. But she doesn't watch the show anyway. But
I was about to say, not fear of me, fear of Liesel. That's really
yes. Why would I fear you? You're a nice person,
right? No one's scared of me.
Liesel, but she has these moments. And
they're talking of you. You want to say hello? Okay, she doesn't.
And then
Brian says hi.
Graham wants to know why does Brian have a grow tent behind him? Well, Graham, because I grow stuff.
By the way, my dog getting fat. Yeah, ons hoor almal vir jou. I'm getting shattered because I'm feeding my dog popcorn. I shouldn't. So it's bad for dogs.
Rick has a question for me. My position on the virus.
Standing on top of it, jumping up and down. That's her position.
Oh, I'm going to meet Amy. Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, back to Rick's comment. Yes, the virus exists. It's real. I'm not going to deny that. But
no, Rick is being facetious.
It's just a virus. It's nothing terrible. It's not like you get in contagion where it's this thing that just runs rampant across the world and everybody's
not the T-virus where we have like zombies and shit. That would have been fucking cool. It would have been so cool.
If we had zombies, this would have been fantastic.
Yes.
We would have been exercising every freaking right that we had to self-determination and protection of our right to live, because let's face it, zombies aren't people. Okay, when they die and they turn, they just dead. They're not the people that you used to know. Those people are gone. A zombie apocalypse would have been preferable to what we have now. I mean, at least that is a visible great reset.
The zombies have more cognitive fucking breadth than the average mask cultist.
Politician. So I have a question for you then. So the zombie apocalypse happens tomorrow. Where's the first place you go and raid? Because raiding is definitely in, right? I mean, if it's the end of the world.
I don't need to raid, but the butcher is just like literally 100 meters away from me.
You know what? Fun is not always about need. Sometimes it's just for fun.
I'll go raid.
So Marika wants meat. That's her priority in the end of the world.
Meat is life. I will, Brian. I will eat you if it comes to that. Okay. I think you can feed a village.
I'm not sure how I feel about the qualifier if it comes to that.
You heard it here first. That's all I'm going to say. But now that Marika mentions it, I have a really good butcher around the corner that's got epic steaks and chops and stuff. Pretty much that's... But you have to raid there first, Brian, because unlike the ammunition, the meat goes off.
Right? The gun shop is 500 meters away from me.
No.
I'm in a small town. Everything is within walking distance. I kid you not. The gun shop is literally on the next block to where my house is.
I can tell you what.
The butcher is literally across the street.
You can barter a lot with a good ribeye. You can get a lot of ammo for a good ribeye steak.
I will trade my 223 and my 40 ammo for a ribeye because we don't have ribeye where I live. Zero.
Wait, how?
Absolutely nothing. No
How?
ribeye.
Why?
So let me give you
That's
some.
not in demand. People here do not know what ribeye is. We do have
If you
some.
become president, that would be your first amendment to the Constitution was thou shalt
Eat ribeye.
have ribeye.
No,
in
my
every
first
city.
amendment is thou shalt have easy access to firearms.
Okay, but the second amendment would be thou shalt stock ribeye in thy
So-
dictionary.
Thou
Yeah,
shalt
the
have
Americans had it the wrong way around. So here's the thing. Let's give some legitimate consumer advice. I will tell you this, based on all of my experience in the Middle East and in Africa, the best trading commodity, cigarettes. Absolutely, hands down, the very best. The second, whiskey, but not nice, expensive whiskey, cheap ass fucking
Cheap
whiskey.
shit. Yeah.
Cheap
Three
shit
shit.
whiskey and whiskey are the two best trading commodities you can have. Trust me.
I have cheap whiskey and I also have expensive whiskey.
Yeah, but cheap and then
And
there's
I also have fuel and chocolates.
Yeah.
Debbie Danger is dropping good info that I was
Right.
unaware of.
Yeah. So no, I'll tell you something, Marika. From personal experience, you can get more at a roadblock in Afghanistan or in the Sudan. You can get more traction with a carton of knockoff Marlboros than you will with $1,000.
I can believe that because in Afghanistan dollars aren't really that useful. But
By the way,
I mean, they're useful.
cigarettes
They're useful,
are useful.
right? But cigarettes are king.
I am a very
I didn't
big
see that.
supporter of the bartering system.
who's from
I had an Afrikaans teacher that said, with a case of brandy, you can go from Cape Town to Cairo.
Yep.
You can.
That is
But
all
cheap brandy,
you
not
need.
expensive one.
So,
That has stuck with me for the last 20 years. It's just like he was such a fantastic teacher.
but he was so on the money, and
He was.
I just want to know, while we're on Mystery Hour, who from Armenia friend requested me due to the stream, because I outed my new profile and I just got. I can't even pronounce this. Okay, so that's.
What is your new profile? Out yourself again, because I forgot to go and look.
My new profile is this. Hang on, I'll show it to you.
It's
Just
Garden
fucking
Hunter.
tell me the word.
Garden Hunter.
Garden Hunter.
That's me. So there you go, you guys.
Well, I have a friend request from
We're
Kaiser
already
Sozi.
Kaiser Sozi. Really?
Yes.
Is he still around? That's
Well,
epic.
his name is Kamo Inyo. It looks Finnish, but it says he's from Northwest. Oh, I don't care.
Because I got a 30-day Facebook ban, by the way. It's just
I got that. That
We all know that now.
is one of the most ridiculous things I have seen ever. Is a ban for sharing a screenshot from a movie.
Yeah.
That is just the epitome of stupidity. And I'm running out of words. I don't even want to say stupidity. There has to be a better word for stupidity. I mean, it's just sorry,
it's retarded.
Dad, if you're listening, that's fucked up. I'm sorry.
But it was. Rick gets banned all the time. Rick and Dion Cutzio are my two friends who constantly. Dion has like 3 profiles. He's Dion.
Yeah,
He's
I
Dion
know that.
Cutzio. he's Dion Coetzee, then he's Dion Coetzee 2,
Yeah.
and then he's just Dion Coetzee, I think.
No, then he has 4 because he has got another one.
Does he? Yes, Dion has so many profiles, and he's actually not a dodgy man. He just, So Amy doesn't know the story. I don't think.
I also don't know why there's this hunter.
What I was going to ask you, Gideon.
This is not a story I'm going to tell live. I will tell it to you in person. When you come down to Cape Town.
I will hear the story. I will tell you in 3 weeks. Okay, just to remind me in 3 weeks.
so here's the thing, Gideon. I have a question for you. In this 1,300-word epoch, which is the rule book of this sport that you've put together,
the 12,000 word.
Yanni. It really was a beautiful sunset. This place has got stunning sunsets. Anyway, is there a stage that has to be shot, which is shot through a glass door? That's one question. And then the second
that can be arranged. That can be arranged. Yes.
Okay, good. And then the second question, is it also compulsory that one must clean one's rifle with tissue paper?
It's not compulsory, but we can.
Is it highly recommended?
It's highly unrecommended.
I've seen my dad clean guns, okay, and there has never been a tissue anywhere near it.
Yeah,
for every single
for a very good reason.
Logical person, there will never ever be toilet paper used to clean guns, except for one.
Some lessons we learn harder than others.
Harder, daddy, harder.
Harder, daddy. It really doesn't make any difference to your fun, but fresh. It's all the same ultimately in the end. Like that fucking Linkin Park song. In the end, it doesn't really matter. You tried your hard and got so far.
There's so many meth heads, right, alongside me who are taking Ritalin. It's fucking epic. I thought I was alone in this. Right?
Really?
Yes. Look, Thing of Nouns, he's also a fucking clutch copy. And then
that's a weird thing, because if I'm not mistaken, France has a really low incidence of diagnosing kids with ADHD as compared to the United States. I am personally of the belief that ADHD is a manufactured thing. There's no such thing as ADHD. The way that
have you spent time with Brian yet, though? Because that might change your mind.
The medical profession or let's call it mass media. The way that mass media wants to make ADHD and mass medicine wants to treat people with ADHD. It wasn't a condition until really recently. Yes,
no, that's not true.
Yes, there are people with. There are always exceptions, but this wasn't the problem in the 1800s. ADHD, no, it wasn't.
It was, right?
Because the kids were working on farms back then, and it wasn't a problem. It only became a problem when kids had to sit down and listen. No, that's where the problem came in.
Here's the thing, especially in the US, right? So there's no real defined process to go and. There's a difference between saying that kid's hyperactive and getting a clinical diagnosis, right, for ADHD. So in terms of me getting diagnosed, I had to go to 3 different doctors, right, to get diagnosed. This wasn't one meeting and then, you have ADHD, right? This was, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months consecutive, or 4 or 5 months worth of testing and various meetings and things like that. So this is not just, we decided today, right? And I know it's a thing because the medication is very effective. Okay, I am a very, very different person.
For some people, Not
Yeah,
for
I'm not
everybody.
saying it's as widespread as it's made out to be. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it is a thing. I think that in the US specifically, they don't have a protocol to diagnose it, right? One doctor just looks at the kid and based on what the mother said, who's, pissed off with her child and all of that, fuck it, he's ADHD. Ritalin's probably going to help a little bit. Okay? Gideon, he's much better looking than you.
Totally.
But
I also have one. Come.
Look at the camera, boy. Look at the
I
camera.
see.
Woo. There we go.
yeah, but coming back to it, right? So there's a difference between an actual clinical diagnosis and a walk into the doctor's office. And I had some experience with American doctors. They're not that fucking great. Okay. So I'm generalizing.
Bring your cat. Where's Sushi?
Where's Sushi?
Listen, Sushi is probably sleeping on a bed somewhere because it's her sleeping time. And I will be cut to shreds if I go and try and find her out. But
Well, that's fair enough. Okay, so sorry, we're doing pet hour.
Dogs win the internet
so
every time.
So we're actually on a list. We're on a waiting list to adopt a guide dog, retired guide dog. So hold thumbs for us on that one.
Fantastic. That must be an awesome
Nope.
dog because it's a golden retriever. Can you hear me?
Well, it can be a variety of breeds, but Labradors, Golden Retrievers, even German Shepherds.
German Shepherds are awesome. Awesome dogs.
Yeah, that one. I have very consistently had German Shepherds during my life, and I do love them. Yeah, and to come back to Thing's point, diagnoses do involve multiple doctors. Yep, you are 100% correct. I think you and I both went through.
I wasn't diagnosed with ADD, but I was given medicine, and the medicine didn't help. But I still have a focus problem. So
I was diagnosed with ADHD.
No, I'm not hyperactive. I can be pretty lazy, but I definitely do have a focus problem. And
so do I.
There's just no medicine for that. If you can't focus, you can't focus, and there really isn't anything you can do about it.
Well,
it's really difficult to focus on something if you're not interested in it. So
I went on Stressam once, and it made me fly. It made me go woo, and it was very bad because I could do fuck all. It was a beautiful trip. I mean, I could be on that stuff all the time, but it's not very good for productivity. I mean, it calms you down, but while calming you down, it also makes you go. It puts you in the Queen song, that one that goes, "Nothing really matters," and you're in Bohemian Rhapsody, and
isn't that Nirvana?
Awesome.
No, it's not.
Queen. It's Queen.
Nothing really matters.
Yeah, no, that's Queen.
Really?
Yeah, it's part of Bohemian Rhapsody, the song that my wife hates.
Sorry, I just want to say the thing. Yeah, the side effects, especially of Ritalin, are pretty fucking dire. But with the Concerta mix, they seem to have got it right.
You do hate it though.
It's Metallica.
Strongly dislike.
Metallica.
Okay.
No, the song "Nothing Else Matters" is Metallica, but the lyric that he was talking about is a Queen song.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bohemian Rhapsody is disliked, not hated, disliked. I'm giving you the blow-by-blow account. It's disliked, not strongly disliked, not hated, just disliked.
So talking about music that kind of sticks in your head, I had a massive fucking earworm this week, and I couldn't figure it out. Right? It was the lyrics going through my head consistently were was Time After Time. So I go and
Oh
Google,
no!
I
Oh
download,
God! I'm sorry.
and all of that. No. But it wasn't that song, Time After Time. It was in a different tune, right? And eventually I'm driving, I'm dropping off my daughter at school, and Eurythmics comes on the radio and they play Thorn in My Side, and that was the fucking song.
That
It was earworming me, and it's an epic fucking song. I love that song.
Do you
And
know why I
couldn't-
love that song?
got
It's
the
because
lyrics wrong.
because just before I went on a debate with Adele Kirsten, I think it was an SAFM or some. No. It was on 1FM in Cape Town. They played "Thorn in My Side"
It's a
by
cool
Eurythmics
song.
just before. I was like, I keep associating that song with dunking on GFSA. That's such a positive connotation for me. I fucking love it. Like Eurythmics, that's their best song. I'm sorry, like they've got good songs, but that's their best song in my opinion, hands down. By the way, something I discovered today. Jeremy had nothing to do with this. He interviewed them on germ warfare.
Who?
And
Right
I only
Said Fred.
and I only clicked today. No. Right Said Fred's fucking cool, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
soap the soap girls, they're French-born sisters. They're in a punk band in SA. They didn't know of. They are super anti-lockdown. Their music is pretty fucking good, actually.
What are they called? Soap Girls.
The soap girls. The thing about them is, so they do punk rock, but they actually are anti-authoritarian. I'm like, it's so nice to meet a band who is supposedly punk, who is actually anti-authority. Because if you look at Rage Against the Machine, they're all in it for fucking Biden and Kamala. Like, yes, give us that big government D as long as it's blue. We
Even
want
the
that.
Dropkick Murphys fucking disappointed me with that shit.
Really?
Right? And I love the Moves. Right?
I
No,
did
but
as
they
well.
were
Are
all
they?
about-
Please no. Are the Dropkick? No. Are they fucking statists?
No, they're all Democrats, and they love the Democratic Party and that shit.
There
Oh,
ain't
Jesus.
no party like the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Anyway,
By the way, PewDiePie, if you're one of the 67 people watching this, I have to just go. There ain't no party like a PewDie party. Just in case I can ever get you on here with your 60 million followers. Maybe you can sell some of my t-shirts. I don't know. Like, that's where we are.
Hey, by the way, is your t-shirts live on the website yet?
Tomorrow, finally.
he's so
Okay.
fucking bad.
Okay, guys,
know,
I will post a link next week.
Please do.
I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm gonna just grab something to eat because I'm a little hungry. I haven't eaten
Yeah,
yet. tonight.
look, the thing of Nouns, their
I
album
still
art's
have
pretty
2
fucking
boxes of
awesome.
pizza. I have 2 boxes of pizza waiting for me.
Okay, you've got a better deal than I do.
That's
got
all
popcorn.
I've got waiting for me.
So she doesn't always have a better deal than you do.
You had 5 people propose to you, though, but you're taken. So,
Am I? Oh, yes.
Well,
Yes.
you're
Yes,
grant.
I am. I have a first lady. I have
You
a
do.
fantastic first lady.
Yes, there we
I
go.
will not change him. I will not trade him in for all the
Can I
whiskey
make
in
can
the
I make
world.
a request? Can I make a request? Can't you give your first lady a dual appointment? I would like your first lady to be the Surgeon General.
The Surgeon General.
I think your first lady would make a
yes.
fucking standing Surgeon General.
No.
Mm.
I might make him the Minister of Health. This is not
No, the
going to
Minister of
be the
Health is
Surgeon
ridiculous.
General.
Close. No,
No.
right? He must
No.
be
About
Surgeon
that.
General, and he must prescribe what medicines should be available to everyone.
The only
But
thing that you actually need is cannabis.
Pure ethanol.
Okay?
Yes,
Pure
There's
ethanol.
nothing wrong with cannabis. Smoke it if
But
you
that-
want to.
That's
Drink
my
the
point.
oil if you want to. It's a natural herb. Okay?
So-
It grows naturally. There's no reason why it should be illegal. No reason at all.
Been agreeing on this whole thing for a long time. But here's the point, right? Here's the point. if you someone asked me which industry would you love to work in, being in the security profession, you know what? If I was in the US right now, especially in like California or Colorado, I'd love to work in the cannabis industry. They are snapping up security professionals, right? Just because of how much they have to use cash, right? Because federal versus state legislative differences. So they can't bank in federal banks.
No.
But if you ever want to, certainly from my point of view, right? If you ever want to have a good look at an industry to invest good money in, it's the cannabis industry, most definitely.
Well, on that note, I would just like to tell people to just put this in your ear. By in the next couple of weeks.
Sorry, Graham for fucking Surgeon General.
Exactly. Blah blah.
No,
Please.
He does not have the qualifications to become Surgeon General. I'm sorry to say that, but he does have the qualification to become Minister of Health, and he does have the qualification to become the First Lady, which is just basically all that he needs to be, because then he can run his own NGO to teach people whatever he wants, how to grow the perfect little greenhouse.
Well, I was going to nominate him for Secretary of State, but I mean,
I want to be his Chief of Staff. Can I volunteer to be the First Lady's Chief of Staff?
The only thing that Graham has to be is the First Lady. All he has to do is take care of my needs. My needs. I don't give a shit about the rest of the country. The First Lady has to take care of my needs so that I can take care of the country. A happy president, happy people. So, a happy First Lady, a happy president, a happy people. That is all.
I'm still voting for Surgeon General.
Graham, you've got the job description, mate.
I've got to run. No. I'm being called.
Okay, I think on that bombshell, ladies, gentlemen, and others, it's been great. Thank you for joining us this Friday. You're all awesome. Love you long time.
Let's do this thing.
And remember, Jamaica or Marika's needs, Graham, come first, and then the country will be fine.
Marika always
afraid of. Exactly.
I always come first, and then the country.
Yes.